Are you ready?
Clear.
It's time for a live stream.
You are privileged AF.
It's important to remember that.
It's okay to cry.
And it's also common to experience
deep belly laughs.
Hi, I'm Kia.
Why does this sound cold every second?
If you like jokes about scams, spirituality, and toxic positivity,
It's so quantum.
This is actually legit.
it's time to tune into.
The mango frequency.
Wait, what?
So let's dive right in.
Got my celery juice right here.
I am not emotionally stable.
Hello, welcome everybody. Do I sound loud? I can hear myself too much. I can't relax while I'm at my spa wellness retreat. This is where I am. This is where I've been. I've been healing. I've been healing from the inside out, okay?
You're not freaking fine.
I know I'm not freaking fine. Wait, I gotta put this up. What'd you say, Kathy? What'd you say?
You're not freaking fine.
Amen, sister.
I happen to be an empath
Why
myself.
is it so low? What the heckle? Let me pick one that I know is loud.
This is gold, straight up.
How's that sounding to you, Gall? Can you hear me? Welcome. This is gonna be a chill stream. We're gonna chill. We're gonna have fun. Look, I got my nails done in the nudiest color possible, so it looks like I didn't get it done at quick glance, and it still costs the same amount of money to accomplish. I was like, ooh, it's gonna look so sultry and so modern, and I'm like, wait, it looks like I didn't do them. It's called quiet luxury. Look it up, bitches. All right. Welcome. So where have I been? I've just been, honestly, I have been working. I know that's what I say every time. And I'm like, I've gotten to a place where I'm working less. And then the next day, I work just as much as I did the last time I lied to you and tell you that my workload is getting less. I've taken on some more responsibilities at my job, and so it's taking more of my time. And I'm also trying to walk 10,000 steps a day for no real good reason, because I know that that number is arbitrary, and I know that it was from a pedometer company in Japan back in the 90s that started that thing, by saying 10,000 steps is optimal health, but it's allowing me to have a number to reach on my walks while I play Pokemon Go for an hour and a half a day. So with that busy schedule, I don't have time to do much else, if you can believe it. And thank you to JB. Can you believe you're almost at 20 months? That is crazy. JB says, I've got my IV secured for my ketamine. Oh, ketamine queen. Hey, ketamine king. Whichever you like, you can be both. Let's see.
And I was miserable staring out at my pool.
I can't hear it either. Hold on. We're going to have this problem.
No.
What the hell? You can't hear that, right?
They're going to be dropping some really
can't.
powerful,
I just can't hear
amazing,
it.
life-changing shiz.
Okay. Colts.
And I was miserable staring out at my pool.
I just did an update on both my Stream Deck and my Ecamm Live, and it's giving me some problems. Let me hear. Oh, wait. No. Roadcaster. Ecamm Live. Let's see.
We're best friends.
What the heck?
Oh,
Okay, well, if you're hearing sound bites, congrats. You're the lucky ones. I can't. And thank you to Asari Shepherd. Thank you so much, Asari Shepherd. Thank you so much, is what I meant to say. Shout out Helen. Okay, let's see. Shout out Helen. Where are you?
Shout out to Helen.
There you go. Oh, wait.
Shout out to Helen.
Okay, you know what happened? That was my bad. That was my switchboard. We're all good now. I can hear Helen.
Shout out to Helen.
Shout out Helen 2 times, 3 times maybe. Also, while we're shouting out Helen, we got to shout out our other girl. You know who it is. You know who it is.
There's Colleen.
There's Colleen. Thank you, guys. Yeah, so I've been walking a lot around. That's my decompression time. I used to go to the gym. I stopped doing that. I need to go back. I do little, dumbbell weight lifting around the house, but I miss going to the gym and jumping around and, hitting a bag and stuff. So I need to get back into that. But I will be coming back. I've been doing the podcast recording. I've been trying in the sense of writing scripts for edited videos, and I've been working with my editor who helps me out sometimes, Logan, and he is on board. He's got some stuff to work on, so hopefully more content will be coming and I'll come back live more often. So apologies, but just sometimes, and I'm working all day, I'm like, so too much. It's just too much.
It's okay to cry.
It's too much to be funny and to be surrounding myself with these gurus, okay?
Mic drop, homie.
But today is the day that we're going to surround ourselves with some gurus, okay? And speaking of running, I didn't even put 2 and 2 together. That running, did you know, is not exercise? And if you think it's exercise, you are a fat, stupid loser, according to Mylett, and this woman who, I think she was the woman who, or the doctor, I don't know what she is. She's some sort of influencer in the health space, which is, not saying much, who was dealing with Jessie Lee in some capacity, I think she's the one who got her the first colonoscopy. She called and made some sort of arrangement for her to get her colonoscopy when she was having issues getting one. I believe this is the same person. But we're going to watch a TikTok from this aforementioned woman and Mylett. And they're on his podcast, it looks like. And they're going to just tell us their wisdom, share their wisdom of fitness with us to let us know that the walkers of the world, me included, are stupid idiots. Okay, here we go.
Walking is great. Do not count that as exercise.
I'm so glad you said that. It is the strange. I don't know when that started.
I don't know either. And if we don't challenge the way,
I feel it's like the last 5 or 8 years. So walking is exercise. The hell is that?
This is activity of daily living.
Right, humans walk.
Exactly.
That's not exercise.
Exactly.
Talk about the lowest possible standard. I don't mean to offend anybody, but maybe if you haven't worked out in forever, start with a walk. But my gosh, you're not exercising. Right. Come to a gym with me and you'll see someone exercise, right?
The only thing is that what are,
what workout is Mylett doing? Is he lifting 100-pound dumbbells, curling them, and then putting TNT in his ass? Or TNT. He's exploding his ass. TRT, he's on some sort of steroids, right? I mean, that seems pretty evident based on his aesthetic. What are you doing, Ed? What workouts are you doing? And also, we already know he's got a cardiology problem. He's got cardiovascular issues because he has a heart doctor that he recommended to Dave Hollis before he passed away. And so maybe you should be walking more, Ed. I don't know. Maybe that'd be good advice for you to take instead of lay off the squats and the deadlifts a little bit and go for a little brisk walk. You wouldn't need to have your own personal cardiovascular, or what do you call it? Cardiac? I don't even know. Surgeon? I don't know what he's got, but he's got some sort of specific doctor for this. I don't know. It just seems like, oh, wow, I'm not trying to offend anyone. Well, you're not doing a very good job, personally.
And just a side note, I don't think we should be setting, quote, goals. We need to begin to set standards for ourselves.
Love it. I love it.
How are we setting standards?
I love it.
So here is my recommendation. There is no replacement for resistance training. And this is not to offend doing yoga. And people get very upset about their modality of exercise. Mm-hmm. God forbid that there is a problem. I need to be able to lift my 40-pound 4-year-old up and throw my other 2-year-old on my shoulder. And if I need to sprint and lift both of those little suckers, I got to be able to do that.
Yeah. That's right.
Yeah. Explain that again to me. The details, please. What scenario are we exploring here? I need to do resistance training because walking is bullshit. because maybe one day I need to lift my 40-year-old child in my armpit and the other one in my other arm and sprint away to what? The cruise ship because you missed call time? Like, I don't understand what scenario this actually is applicable to. She's saying it seriously. Like, it's like learning to drive a stick shift. I used to say, oh, I'm learning to drive stick shift just in case I get kidnapped one day. And then the getaway car's there, but it's a stick shift. I have to learn how to escape. Like, okay, that was something that I used to think when I was 15 years old and I was trying to convince my parents to let me drive a stick shift car for some reason. Like, this is not a real scenario, though, that actually plays out in real life and would require you to go to the gym. And also, just realistically, you know, if you were in a dangerous situation, I think you would be able to pick up your 2 children and run if you had to out of adrenaline and at like any person. People lift cars up because they have adrenaline in their, you know, body and their kids are at risk or whatever. So I don't think the training is going to help you very much, doctor whatever.
You have to train for real life.
Mm.
We live in a physical world.
Great.
We have become domesticated. You must do training. You have to be a functional, capable, viable human.
Yeah. Yeah, because the jobs that they do are very physical, AKA sitting at a table in a studio in the air conditioning talking about how walking is not a real exercise. Yeah, they really need to train for that. They need the ass sitting protocols for this. So there you go. So be a viable human and learn not to walk. Walking is for pussies. You heard it here first.
Get off your butt.
Okay. Thank you so much for that. And I think we might go back to Ed Mylett tonight. He came up on Cody Co and, oh my gosh, what's her name? I really like her, Brittany something. And they did like reactions to some of these gurus and his time warp thing that he's like, I have 20 days in one day because I split my days into three quarters of a day and then I have more time and I'm going to crush you. So we'll have to come back to Ed because he's always got entertaining stuff to talk about. Thank you, Angela Arnold. You are also almost at 20 months. Oh my gosh. Thank you so much. For that, I say this.
I'm spending too much time working, too much time giving.
I care too much. Angela Arnold says, also wasted money on an accidental nude Manny. Yeah, it's a little too nude for a babe like me. I need hot pink. I need orange with French tip. I need something more exciting. You know, I like it, but like I got a nude shirt on. I got, you know, alabaster skin and brown hair. I need a little fun in my life. And this is not the way to do it. So, Angela, I'm with you. And for that, I say,
I'm going to stomp you.
Okay. Speaking of lifting your children under your armpits, we need some more parenting advice. And you know who's the best person to ask for parenting advice? A person with no children. A multimillionaire with no children who has a lot of figurines behind him while recording videos. That's the person I think of when I think, I don't know how, I mean, I don't have kids either, but when I think, hypothetically, if I had kids, who would I get my advice from? This is the guy that comes to mind. Tom Bilyeu, America's #1 weirdo? I don't know. Quest Bar's big dirty secret. Quest Bar's dirty little past. Quest Bar's skeleton in the closet of his multi-million-dollar mansion, which was featured on Selling Sunset. So the caption says, parents, if I asked you to rank your children, could you? You can pick any metric. Can you rank them? Or at the extreme, you're in a disaster. They're always planning for disasters. One woman's planning to sprint away with her children. He's planning for a disaster about you got to save one kid. What do? They're all off their rocker. But he says, or at the extreme, you're in a disaster. And what if you could only save one? Could you pick which one? Can you make the hard decision even with no good options? If you can, even hypothetically, how else would this situation be if not hypothetical? Are you asking your followers to kill their children one by one and save the only one they like? Okay. Even hypothetically, you're already understanding a necessary part of running a successful business. Prioritization. Can we just take a second and realize how unhinged this is? Literally, what are you talking about? This, if you can decide which child you would allow to die first, that's the key to running a business. You've gone off the deep end and you need to get off the internet. I'm sorry. Like, what are you talking about? Okay. But anyways, we're going to hear from him. And he even comes off in this as like, are you well? Are things not going well for you, Tom? Like, something ain't right with this man right now.
Parents. Oh, you're going to hate this. And I say this to somebody who's not a parent. I get it. Oh, but this is a good thought exercise. You don't even have to share this with your spouse. Rank order your kids. If you can rank order them on different dimensions, who's most likely to be successful? Rank order them. If you were in Sophie's choice, you've been hit by a tsunami, you're clutching onto a tree, you're all going to die unless you let one of the kids go. In what order do you let go of the kids? I get it. You want to save them all. God, this is so powerful. If you can do this, I get it. You're never going to, and you're going to save them all. I love it, and I'm here for you. And if I'm in the water with you, I will make sure we save them all. I just want to see if you can do it. Can you rank order? If you can rank order things, that means you know how to prioritize, or that at least you are fearless. You will make mistakes. There's no doubt. And if you save one of your kids and they end up being a bum in the basement vaping, well, you gave it your best shot. But at least you weren't afraid to rank order things. And the ability to rank order is critically important. Dear parents.
What the fuck are you talking about? Like, and he kept it up. He kept this video up as if this is, totally normal and good advice. Like, I don't know. So you're able to be better at business if you are able to say which kid you would save first and then which one you would rank order them. So you have 4 kids. You go Timmy, Tommy, Toomey, and Loomy. Okay, that's who I'm going for. Toomey, you're going first. And this is just a thought experiment, so no need to tell your children, okay, that's good. Thank you. Don't traumatize them too early in life. But how does this translate to business? And then if your kid ends up in the basement vaping, then you should have saved the other kid? I don't know. And his like maniacal laughing throughout the whole thing. And again, like he's in his lair in his LA hillside mansion and he's got Spider Moon and Batman behind him. And we're supposed to take this dude serious. He's got the 2 angles to show I'm in front, and I also got the profile shot, so I got money because I got 2 angles. And I'm a product that you can buy because I have a barcode on my probably way overpriced hoodie. This guy's got some issues. He's got some issues. He's got some tissues because he makes me cry because he doesn't know how to be a normal guy. That's Tom Bilyeu. Ew, 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 ew.
What up, homie?
Ew, 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 ew.
You look like a Lord of the Rings elf.
That's what he says to himself in the mirror every day. Let's see what else he's up to. I just wanted to point out that his big thing, and I've kind of talked about this before, but his big thing a year ago was like crypto, NFT. I have cracked the code. He was like headlining speeches at CryptoCon and NFT Miami and whatever else, bullshit thing was going on at the time. And he still has it here. He's got creator of Project Kaizen, but from what I can tell, it is an utter and complete failure. And now he's going back to giving advice. Now, what's going on with his wife? I don't know. She's also got some cringe content that we can watch as well. Give me 1 second. I think there's music to it, so we'll have to watch it silently, which is even better sometimes, to watch these people without full context. She actually, I saw her pop up, and Lisa is her name. Lisa Bilyeu is his wife. So Heath Blue and Sheath Pink So if you need advice for pink girlies like me, you go to Lisa. If you need big, strong boy advice, you go to the blue Tom. She actually put out an April Fool's joke, I suppose. Oh, where is it? Did she delete it? Okay, yeah, she posts a lot. She posted an April Fool's joke, which I was like, everyone I think that is not her was like, finally, finally. And then it was actually found out to be a prank. It was just a prank. So here she has posted this photo of herself, which I think she looks pretty nice. It looks better, in my opinion. I was just, OMG, you guys, I can't believe I finally did it. For some time now, I've been thinking about getting a more age-appropriate haircut, and I finally had the courage to chop it off. Want to hear in the comments? I want to hear in the comments, do you guys love it as much as I do? And then hashtag April Fool's Day. It's like, girl, you should actually do this, though. It would be better. Because if you don't remember, this is her actual hair. And I don't understand it. I don't get it. It is quite a lot all the time. And, you know, it's just not my style, but the other one looked so good. Anyways, that's what I haven't seen her in a while until I saw that. And I was like, oof, let down. So let's see what she's up to. She's got a fake sign. So she's got a sign and they add the, text in Photoshop. So it's going to be moving. The next time someone says you are high maintenance, respond with, I am allowed to be high maintenance because I am the one maintaining it. If your confidence bruises their ego, that's on them. Okay, thank you so much. And then she's got some stolen content, it looks like. Okay. Here she's wearing Jeffrey Dahmer glasses. Love it. It says, you're too sensitive. And being too sensitive means I will never admit my words were hurtful. Instead, I will make it your problem if you take offense. Cool. Okay, here's one. Forgive yourself like you did your ex so many times. Can you make Tom Bilyeu your ex? Maybe. That's what we're all hoping for, I think. And then there's one thing. Stories from toxic relationships. Okay, maybe she'll talk about Tom. And so she's got the same setup, except instead of Superman, she's got Wonder Woman behind her. So, she's the girl one.
Been in a toxic relationship. I know how hard it can be to open up about those experiences. The fear, the shame, the embarrassment. But your story has the potential to actually guide and protect the younger generation, the message you wish you had actually encountered. And so I want to encourage you to share your journey in the comments and tag a young woman to pass along all the collective wisdom that you have to offer. Tell us about the red flags you wish you had noticed. Tell me about the strengths it took to leave and the wisdom you gained all along the way. Think about what you would tell your daughters or your granddaughters. Maybe it's the importance of recognizing and respecting their self-worth and understanding that love should never, ever, ever feel demeaning or controlling. Or the crucial lesson that your voice and dreams matter and should be heard and freaking supported around the world. Your insight could be a beacon of hope and guidance. The North Star for other people when they...
The North Star, an Instagram comment on a woman... with an interesting hairdo and a bad toxic marriage. This could be your solution. My comment section. Okay. Engagement baiting. Okay. Where's the other one? Gosh, she posts a lot. There are some people who still feel threatened by strong women. That's their problem, not mine. Hell yeah. Okay. A lot. Okay. She talks about breaking up a lot. I have hope. I have hope that she's slowly, subconsciously coming to the realization that she should break up with her husband. That breakup saved you Freudian slip. That friendship that ended was for your growth. The person that left you made you stronger. Trust me when I tell you you're good. Here is a 5-star review of my book. Okay, but then here's her hubby. What a couple. What a couple. It says, building radical confidence in a relationship starts with just 2 things. 1, you have a choice. And 2, it's never too late. To what? Leave? I feel like there's a theme, an underlying theme here. She's like, you have a choice that you could leave. The caption says, building radical confidence in a relationship starts with just 2 things. You have a choice. It's never too late. What's the rest? Well, it won't fit in a bloody IG post. So you gotta buy the book, homie, when you pre-order. Oh my God. I think you probably could have fit it all in. And there's the highlight reel. Jenna Kutcher, Marie Forleo, Jay Shetty, her own husband. Here's a picture. A toxic relationship will erode your confidence, but a healthy one will lift. No, you will wait, but a healthy one will make you go insane and become dyslexic and not be able to read because you will be blinded by the words on the screen because of the amount of cringe and lack of honesty within the photo. Huh? Okay, let me start over. A toxic relationship will erode your confidence, but a healthy one will elevate and lift you up. So which one are you in? I can't tell. It's unclear. What? This is a picture, allegedly, of her toxic ex. So we're starting to just blast people on the internet. At least she blurred his face. This is about her toxic ex. Here we go. My toxic ex. No one is going to love you as much as I do. Me. Loving myself more than he ever did. Me. Rid of toxicity. Me. Growing and thriving. Me. Truly. She's been married for like 20 years. Are you still talking about your exes from 20 years ago? Like, I don't think she was married before. Are you okay? I feel like she just wants to talk about another man, if possible, because Tom sucks. Okay, but here's why I do like Lisa. She drew this, I think. Pretty sure she is like an artist. She's very talented. She needs to put this is the stuff that I would be impressed by. And I think a lot of people would think like, wow, you are talented. I don't need you to hang up a sign that says like, rock on girl, you got this. Forget your toxic ex. Like, she actually has ability to do something really cool and she's wasting it trying to be like, all the rest of them. Where is... Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Can't find it. I feel like we could watch all of these and be entertained. This one. She really got the hairspray for this one. All right. 2021 broke me. Isn't that when you published your book about confidence? Okay, let's hear. 2021 broke me. I think it's just me. Yeah. 2022 changed me. 2023 opened my eyes. 2024 I remembered who the fuck I am. What is this? What is this content? What are you talking about? Who are you? Why is your hair this way? Why are you wrapped in a jacket? And then what? Fuck this cardigan. I am not a person who gets cold. I remembered 2024 is the year I freeze. I don't know. Okay, let's find out. Picking yourself back up after failure and deciding to face a situation again isn't about having blind confidence in yourself. Maybe it's about the crypto stuff. I guess she was involved in the crypto thing, but I don't think that's your fault. I think that's your husband's fault. It's about having the radical confidence to take it on the chin, and the experience can be your mouth guard. It doesn't stop you from getting bumped or bruised, but it protects your insecurities from breaking your frickin' teeth. We spend so much time thinking our failures mean something about us. To be fair, they do. Well, good thing we're thinking about them. Just not in the way we think. Our failures and mistakes say that we're trying, that we're growing, that fear isn't stopping us. Our mistakes say that we actually give a freaking damn about our lives. And so we're trying to do big things because of it. Okay, none of that was actually useful information. So let's make 2024 the year where we stop fixating and obsessing over the falls and failure and start celebrating the damn climb. Remember who the fuck you are, a relentless, unstoppable force, not defined by setbacks, but propelled by them. Each oops is a step closer to hell yes. Let's turn those pages, homie, and write our most empowering chapter yet. Can I get a frickin' yes up in here? Oh God, that was painful to read. Oh man. Okay, we're gonna find out the real reason we women are having such bad sex. And I would imagine we women, the answer for her specifically is your husband is asking his followers to rank order their children. But let's find out. And it says, the stork does not bring a baby, no matter how much my grandmother tried to convince me. No wonder we are having such bad sex, right? Are you 14 years old? Like, what the hell are you talking about? No wonder we are having such bad sex, right? We haven't been taught to discuss sex and the importance it has on our relationships and our confidence. Well, that ends right here, right now, homie. Okay, let's see what she's got to say.
So what's the number one reason women are having such bad sex?
I think one of the biggest reasons is because we have a lack of comprehensive, actually accurate sex education.
Oh, okay.
We've only touched the surface, like the tip of the iceberg as to what's possible erotically, especially with our bodies. And then we have a whole layer of shame on top of it. So we can't talk about it. If I admit something's not right, that's not okay. Like, where do I even go for this education to empower myself erotically? Getting into your body and understanding what your body is actually turned on by is a big piece of it.
So what's the number one reason?
My grandma told me the stork was coming to my house and it never showed up. So therefore, women be having bad sex. Huh? Kelsey, yes. And also 19 months. Whoop, 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 whoop. That's so cool. Thank you. There's a bug on me. Kelsey says, can we get a what up, homie soundbite? Well, of course. What of course.
What up, homie? What up, homie? I'm outside the Cheesecake Factory waiting for it to open.
Yeah, she is. Okay, thank you, Kelsey. Great reminder. Okay, I want to watch this one woman. Actually, we'll end with that. It's like a silly thing. I want to focus on Tom and Lisa. There's a video from like not that long ago, but they apparently they have podcast episodes all the time. And okay, this is from 2 days ago. It says, Tom Bilyeu and his wife expose red pill, what women desire, and how to become irresistible. Okay, so this can only be amazing, I think. And is this an introduction? We're going to find out. I don't know what any of this means. This is kind of, oh, he's got really low. Well, I guess this is his own channel. Is this Impact Theory? Because Impact Theory used to be off, like used to be one of the most, successful channels other than Jay Shetty's, but maybe this is a different channel that he's got. Impact Theory. Oh no, oh my gosh, he's gone downhill. Wow. He's only got 36,000 views he's got 4.2 million subs. That engagement is low. And let's just see what else is going on in his world. 72,000 views, 36, 223, 58. Man, he should be in the millions with that many subs. So he's probably panicking. a little bit because I feel like his moment has ended. Plus, like I said, his NFT project is got 2,000 followers and probably doesn't work. And it gets 21 likes.
Oh, okay. Cult.
So, and you got to think like, okay, on his page, he's got 2 million followers. Out of that 2 million, he couldn't get 3,000 people to like his project. That's linked within his bio. Yeah. So you got to pay to be a part, by the way, in crypto. Yikes. Anyways, I love watching the downfall of gurus. It's my pastime. Anyways, here we go. Let me see what I missed while I was speaking. Welcome, Stace Rose Gotts. Welcome, welcome. And for that I say...
I don't know anything more cultish than that.
Me neither, medical medium. Here we go. Tom Bilyeu and his wife expose red pill. Don't know what that means. Let's watch. Let's find out.
If you want to get a woman and hypergamy is true, now what? She shouldn't have big body count. Why? Is it an ego thing? Are you worried that they've seen so many penises that they're going to judge yours and think it's small?
The strategy you're running is extremely dangerous. This sounds like bullshit. This sounds like PR.
Oh, okay. Cult.
What would a guy have to do to be irresistible?
I'm already intrigued. I'm hooked.
Oh,
I think
okay.
this video should have 3 million more views. Thank you, Kelsey, for gifting those memberships. That is awesome. And in case anyone's wondering how gifted memberships work, apparently, if you interact with the channel often or in the chat, when there is someone who gifts, then you will be put in the line. So I don't choose it. They don't choose it, I believe. That's how gifting works. It is an automatic system, and it is if you interact the most or more, then you get in the line. That's what I read.
Gonna have to actually drink a little celery juice. Keep me going here.
In case you're wondering. Okay, back to Tom. What makes a man irresistible? We're gonna find out from Lisa, his wife.
To a woman.
Somebody that is driven and ambitious, but they don't need money attached to it. But I am not interested, personally, there's zero judgment. I'm not interested in someone that wants to sit on a couch and watch TV all day, smoke weed, get drunk, and then not do anything. That isn't interesting to me. So that isn't the person I would look for. But ambition, drive, is sexy as hell. So if I find it sexy as hell, I don't need the money that comes with it, but the fact that you're driven, the fact that you really want to accomplish something is attractive to me, so I would look for that. Now, you're probably going to go to height, which I know is something that you talk about, of women care about height. I'm 5'1", so it hasn't really been much of a problem for me, but I absolutely love that you're tall. Now, this is zero judgment on guys that are shorter. And what I mean by that is that isn't the only thing that is attractive, right? If you were tall and all your other attributes really freaking sucked, and there was a guy that was a 5'1" and he had all these other attributes, I would go for the 5'1" guy, just to be very clear. But I'm attracted to the fact that you're tall because I do love it when you wrap your arms around me. And if my feet hurt, you carry me on your back. The amount of times I've fallen asleep on...
Why is this a podcast?
In the car, on the way back from a club, you carry me into bed. I love chivalry. I love that you're a powerful, strong man. That doesn't make me weaker. And this message that is going out there where it has to be one or the other, I think is bullshit. And I think that as a woman, I can be damn powerful. I can be confident. I can't be pushed around. I can set strong boundaries. I can stand up for myself. And at the same time, I can absolutely say, I want you to lead this family. I love seeing you sit at the head of the table. I love it when you carry me. I love it when you hug me and wrap your arms around me because I feel safe. I love it that if someone broke in, I would look at you to go and save me. All of that is still true. And the message out there right now is it has to be one or the other. You have to either be a bad fucking bitch who can take care of herself, I don't need a man, or you have to be the super...
Says who? Where is this information coming from? Like romance novels? I don't know. I do not feel this way.
Freaking submissive woman that never speaks her mind, that doesn't have an Instagram page, that doesn't sleep with other guys. Like, it's one or the freaking other.
Can I get her number real fast? Just in case something happens to you.
Yes.
I'm kidding.
Yeah, I know you are. So that's how I feel. And that's, I think, where we're getting so trapped is that it has to be one or the other. And the truth is, it freaking doesn't. but you have to discuss it, because it wouldn't work in our relationship if we never discussed it. And I think that I'm leading, or I think, oh, no, we both lead. It's equal. I don't think that would work. And so I just take...
Lead what? They don't have any kids or anything. It's like, which is fine, but like leading what? The other person? Why can't you just have an equal relationship? Like they're like, who's the leader? Who's going to be at the table? It's like, it's just the two of you. Who are you leading?
The blinders off to say what's going to work in a relationship. You need one leader. It's like a company. You can't have two CEOs. If you have two CEOs with the same skill sets, one of you is obsolete, period. So just like in a relationship, if you're both trying to follow, or dance, you don't have both people leading in a dance. You always have one person leading. So knowing all of that, I have zero problem with you leading. I want you to lead. So I can hold, going back to something I keep saying, I can hold the two competing ideas. And it's actually not even competing. I'm going to take that back. It actually complements. And once upon a time, I thought if I wanted to be confident, then that would mean that it would diminish you. If I wanted to stand up for myself, that would make you less of a man. That if I want to feel powerful, that's going to make you less powerful. And that's all bullshit.
Would you date somebody working the line at McDonald's?
Are they ambitious?
Yes.
Are they driven?
They want to take it over. They want to own McDonald's.
Aren't you married? Would you date? It's like, I don't think she's going to be dating. Well, maybe. I hope so. But like, for her own sake, what kind of question is this? Would you date someone at McDonald's? What does he want her to say? What he wants her, literally, they're sitting inside of their $20 million mansion, right? Recording this podcast for us plebes to listen to and gain knowledge from. Would you date someone at McDonald's? Okay, he wants her to say, no, I will only date you because you're my husband and you're a multimillionaire. It's like, okay, let's see where it goes. I can only imagine.
McDonald's one day.
And they love it and they're happy.
They are miserable, but they're really going hard. Like they're really working at it.
You just said they're miserable. I'm not interested in someone that just sits in their misery.
Okay, so he gets ruled out because he's miserable. All right, he steps out.
Yeah.
A new guy steps in. Still at McDonald's
Yeah.
though. He also wants to run McDonald's. He's happy. Very happy, really lovely guy. He's 48, by the way, still working the front counter, but he really wants to take over one day.
And he's super ambitious. And he's actually
ambitious.
He's actively seeking running it
Yeah.
versus sitting there and just saying, I want to run it one day. I'm working really hard. But are you actively?
No, I'm not going to give you that easy discard. He's really trying.
Yeah.
But he's still at the front counter.
That's fine. I
So
don't care.
failure after failure after failure, you're still going to date this guy. You're not going to be like, something's wrong with his skill set.
If I could sit down with him and be a part of that conversation of like, hey, part of my job is to help you achieve your goals.
Yes.
To uplift.
Part of your job is to help you achieve your goals by dating somebody? Huh? What is this? Where are these rules coming from? Part of my job as your potential girlfriend is to help you achieve your dream of running McDonald's? I'm confused.
You. So here's what you're doing wrong. If they're really freaking defensive, that's not interesting. So it all comes to how...
What would you, because this sounds like bullshit. This sounds like PR. So for real, this guy's 48.
Yeah,
He's
okay.
still working the front line at McDonald's. You're
married currently to me. Millionaire.
going to be like, well, he just needs me. Let me roll up my sleeves.
No.
You don't see that as like red flag central.
Yes, I do see that as a red flag. You're right.
If he was 26, sure. But 48,
I see it as a red flag because I would have to go, well, if he's been this driven and ambitious for 20 years and he has a growth mindset and is always trying to improve and he's still here, how come? So I would just ask the questions.
Yeah.
But in and of itself, someone working in McDonald's as the cashier isn't the problem. It's there's something underlying right here that I haven't quite seen yet. Because if you are freaking driven and ambitious, if you do have a growth mindset and you're willing to push yourself, if you're willing to take off the blinders and ask yourself, what am I doing wrong? Then you're not going to be in that position, is my opinion and my thoughts.
do you believe in hypergamy, the tendency of women to date across and up?
Yes.
Okay, so if that is true, on average, of course, there are going to be deviations from that. But if on average that is true, what do you think happens to someone, not to you, just your successes unusual. So for the average career-oriented woman, she's making 150, 175. Like she's doing a great job. Given that, I mean, it's something like, in fact, pull up the delusion calculator. How many men make over $175,000? I love that it's actually called female delusion calculator.
Oh my God, it is.
Yeah, no, this thing is amazing.
Oh, I've never seen this before.
So you can leave it
Oh my God, you can put
any
age
color or shade.
and
Oh, yeah, of course.
height and-
Of course.
Oh God.
Go 20 to 50?
20 years old to 50 years old.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so that'll just give us a broader swath of humanity. Minimum income 175, please.
Minimum height 6. That's.
Yeah, you can lower that
Yeah, I
down.
was gonna say
You
that's
said
a
you'll go all the way to 5'1". Let's get crazy. There we go.
Exclude obese.
Oh, so wait, you're about to
No,
say
no,
that was
no. Where's this information coming from? The census? Like, okay, this seems real reliable, real legitimate data for sure.
Why?
No. I said if you take all of this, if you take all of these attributes.
What do you want us to put?
5'3".
5'3". I think that's a lie, but cool.
5'5".
Do I hear 5'8"?
Well,
every time she says something, he goes no, and she goes, "You're right. I'm changing my mind." And she's like, 5'1". No, you wouldn't. Oh, you're right. It's like, yeah, you're really proving the point that I have my own beliefs. Okay.
Here's the thing: if you're asking my preference, 6 foot. I freaking love that you're tall.
Well, you're putting a minimum
height.
filter.
Okay, 5'5". My dad's 5'5", right?
Perfect. So
that's still really short.
So let's find out. So this is 5'5" guy, any color, any weight even, which is also a lie, almost certainly, making $175,000.
Yeah, so the weight thing actually would make a difference.
Okay. So the probability of a guy, U.S. male population ages 4.3%. Good Lord. Even at 20 to 50. What I'm really driving at is they're just proxies that people use to filter people out.
Yeah.
And one of the proxies is how much does this person make, which is a proxy for are they smart enough to generate resources. And so depending on your age, we got together young enough, you weren't asking how much I was making, but you ran an assessment, and might I say you were quite accurate, on whether I would ever be successful.
But just to be very clear for people at home that may not know, when we got together, I had more money than you. You were in college there, and my dad was very comfortable because he'd worked so hard. So just as a...
Very comfortable. Her dad's like a shipping magnate, like a exporter from England, Greece, something like that. So yeah, her family's very well off. So comfortable is a very funny term to use. So yeah, when they met, he saw dollar signs in her, and just so lucky that it turned out that now they're both rich. Oh, wow, America's so great. America's so great if you're already rich. Oh, ain't it the truth? Two rich people making it work. Okay, here we go.
The context, I didn't care about the money, even just meeting you.
No doubt.
But
I made you poor.
You did make me poor. I even collected coupons for the first time when we got
you
married.
did.
But it didn't bother me. Why? Because you had
me.
all these important attributes that I care about. But look,
Being tall.
hypergamy is very real, again, on average, because I actually have friends where they make more than their partners and it's not a problem. Why? Because their partner's actually extremely ambitious. And so even though they don't make the money as equal to them, they're building businesses, they have visions.
Are women not allowed to have ambition either? Like, can't women be ambitious? Why does it have to be, well, I'm making more, but he's gonna make more at some point, and that's what I care about. Like, this is very traditional. I mean, they are kind of traditional, honestly, other than the haircuts. They are very traditional in their mindset about man, woman, what is your role? And I find that to be, not a modern take anymore.
They work hard.
I'm going to go false on this one.
Oh.
So the stats, if I'm not
Just
mistaken,
friends
and
that I
Drew,
have,
please
I'm
pull
gonna
this
say is
up,
the truth.
that if a man's significant other makes more money than him, he is 50% more likely to need erectile dysfunction medication.
Yeah, and I understand that, and if that's the
Yeah, I understand. Excuse me? What was that statistic that you pulled out of your ass? Oh, so if the man makes less than the woman, he's 50% more likely to need Viagra. Where is that coming from? Please elaborate. And she's like, yeah, if that's the statistic that came out of your ass, then I believe you because I have no way to check. It's like, what?
That's the stat. And so I'm not saying universally. I'm just saying that there are women that I know that actually do make more money than guys. They're partners. You know them. And it isn't a problem because they're still excited. They're still building their business. They have a vision. They plan to really build. And so it doesn't.
Maybe they're just not insane. Like maybe they've come to the conclusion that money does not control every single thing in your life and that there's other things to life. Then how much money do you make? I mean, that seems pretty possible as well.
Ever seem, I'm not in their marriage, I'm not in their relationship, so I have no idea.
What do you read? Because talking about a small handful of women is not super indicative of the world. So sure, anything is possible. These are all distributions, and 100%, some people will have no beef with it whatsoever. I am of the belief that the statistics will back me up, that the more differential there is between men and women in a relationship, where the woman is outperforming on any comparable metric, if she's having more success in her arena, in her career, if she's making more money, if she has more accolades, more fame, whatever, that is likely to cause a problem in the relationship. This is all tied to my very strong belief that men need to feel powerful. And if they don't feel powerful, you're going to have a problem. Now, this is all building towards a question. So I just want to set the table for a.
So it's women's fault that men are not successful enough. If a woman succeeds, that's a zero-sum game, right? If a woman succeeds, then that means a man fails. That is a wonderful way to think. Great. Really, really good. We've come so far, and yet we take one step forward, 20 steps back every single day. Every single time a man gets in front of a microphone, you go back a little bit in time. So he's leading this all to a question of why am I such an asshole? I'm hoping is the question, but we'll see.
A whole lot of reasons that I could map out. I feel very powerful. There are many powerful, not just in life, but in relationship to you. You look at me like a superhero. There are things that you care about that I'm very good at, that you're not, that you're very glad that you can outsource to me. You are much better than me at certain things. And so 1, I'm emotionally stable. 2, I have self-esteem that is predicated on a very long history of acting in accordance with my values. The number one thing that I look at is being efficient towards getting to the thing that brings human flourishing. And so I wouldn't allow myself to end up in a death spiral about you being better than me at one thing. But if you were better than me at everything, or you were better than me at the core thing that I'm trying to do, that would be problematic. In fact, then
that's a you problem, dude. Like, why are you blaming her? Like, oh, you need to dim. And it's so funny. She has a book about unlocking your confidence, having radical confidence. Okay, but she can't be better at her husband at everything. Why not? He can be better at everything than her, and she's not going to be like, well, I can't, get my penis hard. Like, that's so unfair. And to put this on a podcast and to go, this conversation is going to like get you, as a couple to reconnect. I'd be like, should we just break up then? Because I'm not going to sacrifice, success in my own world to like make sure your sensitive ego is okay. This is very insecure behavior.
One of the questions that I have for you, I did not plan to get to it now, but when you stepped into being an entrepreneur, had you come in and been like, no, I want to be the leader, I want to run this, I want you to slot in behind me, or even worse, God, this would have been worse. You were like, no, I'll follow you. And then you were like, oh God, but you're so slow and bad at this. And then surpassed me and put me in a position where to lead, I would have had to say, slow down so I can lead, which that I will never say. That would have been devastating. And the hardest thing that we ever went through in our relationship was that. So was you becoming an entrepreneur. That was already hard. So I can't imagine what it would have been like if you had come in and eclipsed me in every way and we didn't have a complementary skill set, but instead we had the same skill set. And what you said earlier, that if you think the same, one of you is obsolete. And if the person who was obsolete had been me, that would have been brutal. And so what would you have done in that moment? really, because this now is like the question that I wanted to get to, that the whole last segment was building up towards.
And just to remind everybody who may have not known their entire history, she was not working for almost 10 years. I think it was like 8 years, while Tom was working at this startup, company, which was about software, I believe, at first. And then he went with the two people from the software company into the Quest Nutrition company, and he switched over. And then once he did that, Lisa was then allowed to work there as like someone who is helping with the shipping, I believe. But before that, she was unemployed for the sole reason that she could get him ready to go to work every day. They don't have kids, like I said, which again is fine, but she was a stay-at-home wife. And she would cook his meals and put his clothes out and run his shower for him because it was so important that he was, not stressed when he got home. And, he felt like he was going to make money at some point, so she should stay home and not work. So from her going unemployed to helping in the business, it almost ruined their relationship and his ego. That's not attractive, okay, my opinion.
Which is, what should women do that want to find love, maybe even want to have a family, but whether they want a family or not, they want to find love. Should they never brighten their light?
No. You absolutely need to brighten your light as bright as you can go. And the truth is, being the woman I am now with the confidence and understanding of myself, because back then I think I was very nervous and very scared to tell you because I was so worried that I would lose you. But now being me, it's like I wouldn't be able to bring myself, my confidence to the table, to this relationship. And dimming your light, I've never seen work. I've never seen any.
You're doing it right now, honey buns. As he's going to literally cut you off from your own opinion and thought to correct you. Take a look in the mirror, okay, for one quick sec, because I think you are delusional. And I like her a lot. I think she's like just caught up in this whole thing. And I don't know. I don't like her a lot. I like her a lot in comparison to the other people in this group that I hate. Anyways, let's see what he has to say.
I did not say dim your light. I said never turn your light up.
Oh,
I want to be very clear. Should they just stay small? Because if you don't go train and you don't go push yourself, you're going to be way easier for him to surpass. So I'll ask it really bluntly. There are two ways to be the tallest person. Way number one is to grow yourself. And way number two would be to cut somebody else down. There's two ways to be the shortest person. Just never grow yourself, or be around somebody who's much taller than you. So
never grow yourself. Good analogy, Tom.
You can take either path, but the question is, should they just stay small, or should they get as big as they can, knowing that they'll just have to find somebody bigger, but that pool of people becomes 0.00004%.
Why do they have to find somebody bigger? I mean, that's what he's saying. He's like, I can never let a woman be better than me. That's his opinion. So no matter what relationship he would ever get in, she's going to be worse than him. That's how he thinks. That's why he's asking this stupid ass question. Let's see what she says.
Know what outcomes your decisions are going to create. So it's up to you. Are you okay with living a life where you're never able to grow and shine? And will that erode your confidence, or will that actually maintain your confidence? Because anything that erodes your confidence and your sense of self, I would strongly advise against it. And the truth is, even though it's interesting that you stopped me and you said, I didn't say dim your light, you said never shine. The truth is, in not being able to shine, by definition, because that's where you want to go and you can build to, you will eventually then have dimmed your light. So if I've spent the last 5 years building my confidence, going towards the thing that I'm really excited about, brightening my light, in 5 years I would be brighter. But you're asking me not to get to that stage. So to me, actually, it's the same thing. You are still asking me to dim my light. And because I did that for 8 years, you didn't ask me to. That was a choice that I made and never spoke up and said that I was unhappy. But I've been there. and I wasn't happy. Now, how the hell do you have a happy, successful, healthy relationship when one of you is profoundly unhappy? You can't. And so when we even said, I said, hey, I'm going to be an entrepreneur, or I really want to go into business. I love building quests with you. I want to do this full time. It was very difficult for you. Your entire life had to change. And you even said at the time, babe, what kind of husband would I be if I put clean underwear ahead of my wife's happiness? And
the exact man that he is. Because he said that was the hardest moment of your relationship, was putting clean underwear in front of his wife. Because for 8 years, she was too afraid to speak up to tell him that it was unfulfilling to be his at-home maid.
that is the truth. If you had said, I don't want you to do that, that's exactly what you would have done. You would have asked me to put your needs, your comfort ahead of me being the person that I want to be. And
this is not an amazing attribute. This is like basic human decency to anyone, to not force them to be lesser than they could be or not have a life at all. That's like, I'm not saying he's abusive, but like someone who is not allowing you to work or would prefer you to do absolutely nothing but cater to their needs 24/7. That is not like, oh, wow, he's such a good guy, he let me work at his company. This is like the bare ass minimum of what he could be doing as a husband to you.
I don't judge you for that. You need to live the life and have the relationship and marriage that actually serves you. But I think at that moment, if you had, I don't see personally how we would have navigated through it. Because me and you have navigated through a lot of problems. We hit a wall, we disagree, there's an issue, and then we just have to keep navigating. Let's try this, let's test this. I don't see how, no matter how much we tested, that I would have been able to flourish if you had asked me not to, and still be able to bring my best self to the relationship. And that then leads to me having built a business with you, gone on the trajectory the last 15 years. I've built so much of my competence that's led to me being confident, right? I was petrified of ever going in front of the camera, never wanted to speak on stage. Like all of that, I never thought I would ever do. And I figured it out. I did it. I kept doing it. Wax on, wax off, right? Karate Kid. I got so good that I became extremely competent, and in my competence, I became extremely confident. Now, what if I hadn't gotten there? The thing that we've said to each other, and I said to you, was insecurity isn't sexy. And so now, if I'm bringing my insecurity because I don't feel good about myself.
Tom is insecure. Let's just say that right now. He is a very insecure person.
All the time to the relationship. That isn't a turn on for you. I know it's not. It's not a turn on to me if you're always insecure about something and don't do something about it. I want people to know that it's that act of needing to do something about it versus sitting in the insecurity and not doing anything about it. So if I had maintained insecure, if I didn't build my confidence, if I wasn't able to brighten my light, I wouldn't be the person I am to bring what I need.
And the way she brightened her light was asking him politely if she was able to work because she felt unhappy in the marriage, cleaning his underwear every day as her only sole purpose in the world, which is crazy. And thankfully to her, he said yes. And now she's happy. So she says.
To the relationship. So in me projecting what I want in life, how I can show up, I wouldn't have said, oh, okay, it's fine, I'm just going to stay at home. It wouldn't have been healthy, and I don't think we would have lasted this long.
Agreed. That you're answering phenomenally well for the N of one experiment that is you. Mm-hmm. But what I want to know is hypergamy is real. I believe that it is part of a larger set of social circumstances that are completely deranging relationships between men and women.
Yeah.
So you've already put on the table, no matter what the consequence is, women should go and express themselves to the fullest of their abilities, to drink as deeply from progress in their own life as humanly possible. As I set the table with all the different problems, which I'll get to after you answer this question, I want to know in what direction do you want them to grow themselves? Because they can go grow in career, in which case all the hypergamous stuff kicks in.
Boobies.
They could go grow themselves in traditionally, what I'll call traditionally feminine ways, which I'm sure is going to spark some comments. But going out and like, I want to be the greatest kindergarten teacher of all time. And I'm going to flex and I'm going to raise that next generation. And whether I have my own kids or not, like I want to nurture and I want to see these kids just go do their thing. But I am going to pour myself into this. Or I'm going to be a mom and I'm going to pour myself into becoming the greatest mom and like teaching my kids about fitness. I'm going to homeschool them and I'm going to learn as much as I can so that I can teach these kids. And I'm going to be the homeschool that all the other parents bring their kids to. And so I'm going to get.
What the fuck are you talking about? Just like, is this a question anymore? Like, it's just seeming very specific. Now we're talking about homeschool and teaching them fitness. And what are you talking about? Get to it. You're a bad interview host.
To flex my muscle. But because I don't want to trigger all these hypergamy problems, I want to be in this lane and I really want to go ham. Do you feel good about saying, hey ladies, remember this is a trade-off, and so here's one way to flex as hard as you can, but to stay in a lane that lets you play a role? Or do you think that I'm an evil overlord for even framing the question in that manner?
Not an evil overlord, but I don't think there's a lane. That's almost what pisses me off about my own journey, is that I felt like there was a lane I had to stick to. So every example you just gave, in my head, I'm like, fuck yeah. So it's like, go and crush it in the business world. I'm like, fuck yeah. Be in the best kindergarten. Yeah, hell yeah. What's that thing for you? Now, there is that trade-off. It's important to know what the knock-on effect is with the decisions you make. So if you decide, I want to build my own business, I want to earn $200,000 a year, and I want to be so successful and I don't care whether I'm single or married. Cool. Now at least you know. Put it in priority order, in fact. And then just know what the outcome's going to be if you take that path.
According to Trueflation.com.
What are they talking about? No, okay. Know that if you are successful at business, you're never going to find a boyfriend? Says who? This guy? I don't understand. Oh, we got Bitcoin, we got coins, we got Canadian cents, we got stock videos, text impact because we're buying gold. Okay, back to it.
Knowing that I'm going to be in business, I want to crush it, that my pool of guys is going to get smaller, I can at least look at it with my blinders off and say, yeah, okay, that is potentially truth. If that is truth, what am I going to do about it? It's my decision.
I don't know. I think this is a them problem. Like, I'm sure some guys who are insecure, this will be a thing. This is not a generalized, every man feels this way. Like, this is a rule of life that women should not succeed more than the man. This is made up. Where's the statistic? He was supposed to pull something up. Nothing was pulled up. It's like, we're supposed to just trust that this is the standard of life and biology. He's almost making it seem like women cannot achieve more or else their pool of men will be smaller because there's only so many men who are better than a good woman. It's like, this seems so horrible.
Decision. It's a trade-off, one or the other. What am I willing to trade? Am I willing to trade my career, or am I willing to trade the guy, or am I willing to trade, having kids? Like, what is that thing that you're willing to trade for the thing that you get? And so I can't tell people what to do because it has to be right for them. But I can freaking say that if hypergamy is real, which I actually think it is, now what? But I'm going to pose the same thing to guys. If that's true, now what? If you want to get a woman and hypergamy is true, and you know that women are going out there and they're being career oriented and they're getting educated, now what? You can sit on the couch and complain, which is your right. You can go, well, shit, I want to get one of those women, so I'm going to go learn things. I'm going to go build skills, so I'm going to earn $250,000. Then you take action. But just sitting there complaining doesn't serve anyone. It doesn't serve the women. If women are sitting there complaining, like, I can't believe I can't get a good guy. This is fact. Now what? If guys are complaining, I can't get a good woman because, now what? But everyone just wants to sit in the complaining. And that just drives me nuts. And I say this with compassion, but it's just like, I really want people to succeed. And that's why I'm so blunt. And that's why I'm so blatant, because I really do. It breaks my heart to think about guys out there that have low value towards women, or a low,
you mean your husband sitting across from you? He has a low opinion of women, as evidenced by this 23-minute conversation thus far. He thinks women that are achievers are never going to have love, and that men deserve the right to be better in everything, and that if you had succeeded more than him, he would have broken up with you years ago. That's what he's said so far. So not just men, the one in front of you specifically, actually.
Ill will towards women as well, like the red pill community. Like there's some vitriol, there's some cruelty there, and it's just like, man, that doesn't serve you, that doesn't help women, that won't help you, that won't help a relationship if that's what you're looking for. And so really what you're doing is you're just feeding into that emotion that then won't get you what you want. And again, the same with women. So take the blinders off, see what is actually true, and then decide knowing the truth.
Can you give it to me in a single sentence? How can a man be irresistible to a woman? And if you want to throw in a couple, like 1, 2, 3, because I imagine there are things like be
tall,
clean, smell nice, do your hair, which is so ironic that I now wear a hat all the time because you would prefer that I did my hair. And it is just laziness.
But
it's efficiency. I'm going to take that back.
And that's the thing. And I know efficiency is one of your core values.
Yes.
She's like, I spend 84 hours a day on my hair, but your hair, I don't mind that it's in a hat. That's fine with me because I'm a woman and I deserve less.
So even though I like that when you do your hair, I like it, but I would never ask you to not do something that is against your core value.
Except on a special occasion. Yeah, fair.
But
All right, I don't want to derail
yes,
you again. So, single sentence, by all means, if you want to throw in a couple listicle pieces, but as concise as you can give it to us. There are guys on the edge of their seat. They want to know, instead of checking out, I can go do these things and be irresistible for real. Of course, no one's going to truly be irresistible, but that I'm putting myself in a good category.
Well, oh God, that's a bad screenshot. Sorry, Lisa. I would imagine that he wants her to say, be super rich, be super jacked, and be super masculine and protect her from bears, because that's what they would say on these, red pill Reddit sites or whatever people communicate about this stuff. But let's see what she has to say.
Okay. Building your confidence. 1,000%. Confidence is very sexy. So building your confidence, being authentic in your actions, because if a woman feels a gut instinct that you're trying to manipulate, that again, just being authentic in your actions. So confidence, being authentic in your actions, kind, strong.
Physically?
I think you need to be stronger than her, yes, physically. Again, this is...
Don't back off. I love it.
Writing them down.
Women need to feel safe, so that's actually why I said the strong part. Because
he's like Andrew Huberman. He's like, oh, stronger physically.
Because when I went, okay, what are the core things that I think women really look for? What does that equate to for men? So if a guy is strong, the last thing you want is for the woman to come and save you, right? How would that make you feel if a woman, and I'm not on the one sentence, I apologize, but was it Fran Drescher?
Oh God, you're really going to the darkest possible place ever. Yes, it was Fran Drescher.
Can I tell the story?
Please.
But I want to give almost context to why I say strong as well.
Yeah.
Like again, this is more of a guy thing. So the guy wants to feel like they can be the hero.
We're going to come back to your list, but so on Make Her Feel Strong, now you have a side note about Fran Drescher, the most horrifying story of all time.
It's so upsetting, so heartbreaking. But one day she goes out with her friends, with her husband and a couple. They come home and there's actually intruders. And the intruders tie the husband up. Husbands up, and then basically rape their wives.
Not basically.
Yeah. In front of the husbands.
I didn't know about this.
as a guy, in fact, why don't you answer this? What would that do to a guy's psyche?
It's game over. And it was. Certainly for her husband, they could never recover.
Because the guy cannot feel like he can protect her woman.
Yeah.
So that's why I think the safety thing is...
So what are they saying? That the husband should have been jacked more and therefore this horrible incident wouldn't have happened? And it's somehow Fran Drescher's fault for picking a man who's not physically strong enough? This is so weird. What are we talking about? Very trigger warning. I apologize. I had no idea what that story was going to be. I thought it was going to be about her being the SAG president or whatever, like of the guild or something. I had no idea that that was going to be the story. And like, what is that telling us as an audience, as listeners to this podcast? Men, this is advice for you, because that was the original question. Men, how do you become irresistible? Well, interesting, you should become physically strong, because one time Fran Drescher's husband was attacked and tied up and the women were, assaulted. So therefore, it's his fault for not being stronger. That's my advice to you. Be strong. Stronger than your woman, at least. Huh?
It's very important. A woman does want to feel, and I can't imagine, like, I wouldn't blame you. So, like, God forbid that happened. I wouldn't look at you and be like, oh my God, I blame you.
They would either have been stopped or I would be dead. Like, those are the two options on the table.
Okay, Tom. All right. Yeah, okay. It's always the armchair, people who are looking at this situation going, I would have stopped that, hijack. I would have said something really, you better sit down, sir. And they would have stopped. It's like, okay. Yeah, whatever you say, dude. This guy is like scrawny, scraggly, can't even do his hair. He's too lazy, so he says. But you're gonna fight off a intruder? Good effing luck. Okay, dude, you are out of your mind. Okay, I'm going back for a second because I talked over it.
They would either have been stopped or I would be dead. Like, those are the two options on the table. I can't say that I can overpower them, but I can say that I can die trying.
Yeah. So knowing what that would...
He's like, I would just kill myself. Leave you alone to deal with it, because my ego I could not handle like being embarrassed, so I would just die. Okay, good advice, Tom. Good.
Do to your psyche. So I think women want to feel safe. In order for you to feel safe, I would say that a woman wants a guy ideally that is absolutely stronger than her, that can protect, or that is actually just has a strong mindset, that is willing to fucking fight for the death, because that also is very attractive. Where it's like, I'll fucking take anyone down. And
it's so attractive when men die for me. It's like, well, if they're dead, it ain't gonna do you much good anymore. There's no really attraction anymore, hopefully.
If I can't, I'm gonna die trying. That's very attractive.
All right, so
it's stupid.
Confidence, authentic, kind, stronger than her, makes her feel safe.
Those, I think, will be the key things.
Full stop.
I mean,
not educated, not funny.
Laughter. Yeah, it's a good one. You got to make the woman laugh. But here's the thing, you don't just want to be the jokester that doesn't have all the other things. So when I met you, you were funny. You were a jokester. You were freaking, like, intellectually, we could have these types of discussions and push each other's thinking. And I...
Hence, or keyword, you were these things. Now you're insufferable.
I value that. I don't necessarily know that all women will value it. You were you were very masculine, that I very much loved and am very drawn to, but you had a sweet, kind side that wrote poetry. So whenever you think about the things that even I'm saying, it's not just one of those. If you're just this big burly man that can make a woman feel safe, but you're not kind, you're not funny, you actually lack the confidence, it's not that in and of itself isn't just the thing. So it's the combination of the two. So when I was with you, you were a very strong masculine man, but you were kind, you were sweet. You told me that you would talk, you talk to your mum all the time, and you wrote poetry. And so understand, like, oh, okay, you have these different dynamics, and it's not that you're going to be this overpowering dominant force, because you had the kindness that really cared about how I felt.
Not really,
so it's the combination of all these that make the...
She didn't feel comfortable enough, again, to tell him for 8 years that she wanted to do more with her life. I don't think he's that kind. He could have asked. He could have maybe said, "Are you comfortable with this?" That's not very kind.
Cocktail of an attractive man.
Can I throw out a couple more and you tell me if you'd like to
please.
include
Yeah,
them?
you're great at this.
I think the following ones are going to be must for you, but I'll be very interested to see if that's true. Okay, ambitious.
For me, yes, but I don't think it's for everybody. So that's why it's like if you were talking, I'm trying to give universal.
Yep.
I don't think everyone cares about ambition in a guy.
We're asking a lady, but I will just say from where I'm sitting, gentlemen, the lady has spoken.
Because I know women.
Universally.
Because I know women.
He's like, I know I'm asking the question, but I know the right answer because I know what men want. As a man who loves men, oopsies, nope. I mean, as a married man to you, Lisa, I know what other women want of men.
One person in particular that has a stay-at-home husband and she goes and works and they've been married for a long time. Again, I'm not in their marriage, but she loves that he's so happy and she's like, she literally genuinely says.
Cool. All right, I've been shot down. But on the side, guys, I'm telling you right now. Driven.
Again, I don't think it goes to
So no, it's not a must. So
driven in money?
0 for 2.
Well, actually, is it actually important to go driven in money?
No, driven to accomplish goals. So ambition is I want a thing. Drive is I'm going to do whatever it takes to get it.
I think the drive, if it came to like, they didn't even care about the family. Like, hey, well, you feed yourself, figure it out. Like
This is still just, these
I
aren't
don't
landing.
think, I don't know what I'm saying. I don't think women would like.
Is this a quiz? Like, I don't understand. He's like, I have the answers. I know the right answers, and you're answering them wrong. Okay.
I think women would want someone that's driven to provide for the family in a certain way. So provide, I don't necessarily mean just financial, right? It could be provide, like I said, as a stay-at-home dad, he's providing something. So that, I think, is something.
Having a hard time with this answer. Successful.
Push back. I love, like, you know.
First, let's lay this all out, and then I'll give you my very aggressive take, and you just, because look, it's entirely possible that I am so wrong that this is what men are getting wrong. They all think like me, and we're just driving off a cliff.
But I'm also one that is very attracted to ambition and drive.
Yes,
so
I know.
I have
That's
to be
why
careful not to say.
I'll give my pitch at the end. So, but so far you've killed ambition, you've killed drive. They are not universal for you.
I don't
Successful.
In what? Define successful.
Worldly success. So they can provide financially.
I don't think that's oh God, I don't want to bullshit.
But what, like, we're not allowed to make money, as he said, because if you make $200,000 and you have to marry or be with someone, a guy who makes $250,000, and the pool is so small, so maybe we should not want men to provide so that we have more options. I guess. So weird.
I think to an extent, yes. A woman probably would want that.
So are we calling that must meet minimum requirements?
Yeah, so even like ambition and drive, I think, has minimum requirements.
And like he's setting her up so that he can embarrass her and go, you got this so wrong. The truth is women want this, this, and this. And you are so stupid, Lisa, for all the things that I forced you to say and talked you into and suggested to you. No, wrong.
Again, if you're just the person that sits on the sofa, watches Netflix
100%.
and smokes weed all day, I can't think of that as being attractive in any circumstance. So do you tie that to ambition? Do you tie that to drive? Do you tie that to success? It's bare,
all three.
Yeah. So yes, there are bare minimums then for all of those.
Okay. Can hold space for female emotions.
1,000%.
Yeah. Hey, I'm one of
But isn't
4
that, I
or
said
whatever.
seen earlier. That was part of my being seen.
Okay, that's what how we're defining that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Holding
fair.
space for me to have emotions.
Okay, well, actually, in fact, the thing that you and I fight about all the time, you'll get 9 words into a sentence and I'll be like, yes, I understand exactly where you're coming from. I can steel man it. I'll explain it as well or better than you. And that is deeply unsatisfying for you.
You're like causing me anxiety
hate,
right now.
Yes,
just as
you
say
hate that so much.
I do.
As she should. It's not just expressing a female emotion or whatever they said. That's letting someone speak to you without cutting them off rudely and saying, I can explain what you're saying better than you can because simply you are a woman. I guess is like what he's saying. And he's done this several times through this podcast thus far. This guy's an...
And yet, I actually can do it. But it doesn't, even though I see you in an avatar way, I know exactly what you're going through. You need me to hold space for you to be in that emotion. And even if it is something that warrants aggressive and immediate action, this just came up the other night, you needed me to hold space for a while where it's like, no, even though in that conversation you said, this is a fix-it conversation. I could tell by your body language and everything. It was, and you very quickly, by normal standards, moved on to yes, and now I actually want a thing. But I had to ask for permission to roll my eyes back in my head like a shark and pursue it. And you said yes, and I started to do it, and I was like, uh-oh, it's actually too soon. And so it was way faster than normal, but I did need to hold that space for you.
Yes, correct. And I don't know if you remember the very first things I said, because you asked me a few times. So the very first time you asked me, I said, I just need to have my emotions. And it was almost like, I know, I do want you to fix this, because that was the thing. It's like, I do want you to fix this. And I know that actually that you are the right person to fix this for me. But right in this moment, I just need the emotion. So it was the duality of knowing that you had, when I came to you, you paused me and said, is this one that you need to be seen, or you need to, or, you know, you carry space, or do you want me to fix it? And that is fundamentally, I think, one of the biggest issues most couples have. In fact, today, as I was going through, what's Tom going to ask me? I was in the doctor's and she's literally taking my blood. And I was like, what is the biggest problem that women have with men? Because I was like, you know, what are the sorts of things that your audience are going to want to know? And so I turned to literally the nurse, and she's taking my blood, and I'm like, what's the one thing? She goes, he doesn't just hear me out. He's always trying to fix it. I didn't even preempt her. So I was like, it is universal. So if we know it's universal, how do we...
One woman at the doctor's office had a similar experience. It's universal. Okay.
Navigate. We both have come up with a strategy in our relationship where if I do come to you, because mostly it's me coming to you, in that moment, you stop me because I'll try to get better in saying I just need to be heard. But if I don't say that when I first come up to you, you stop me and say, well, hang on a minute, babe. Is this where you need space, or is this where you need me to fix it? And being able to communicate that now allows you, I don't want to shut that part of you off that really just wants to go and fix it, right? It's giving you the opportunity to be able to say, hey, you can fix it. But it's also allowing me the moment where it's like, I don't want you to fix it. I just want to feel seen and heard. And that dynamic has been beautiful. We're not there yet where I just automatically can say that to you without you having to ask me. But I think that there's always ways to navigate things like that. And instead of pitting men and women against each other, and, oh my God, here she goes again, she just wants to be heard, or oh my God, here he goes again, he just wants to freaking fix it. It's like, instead of complaining, find a strategy and a method that allows you to communicate in a better moment, or in moments like that better. And so, yes.
I really hate when podcasters, and I know sometimes it's impossible not to, but like they bring up a topic and they specifically do not give you any detail. Like, why were they fighting? Was it because he didn't take the dishes out of the dishwasher when she asked? Was it that he stole $1 million from the joint bank account? Is it because he's got caught texting girls? Like, I need to know context so I understand what the fuck they're talking about. And I hate when they say, the thing that happened last night, you know, that thing when you came to me and asked me about the duality of the situation, it's like none of that makes any sense because we have no context, and it's not interesting to anyone listening but them because they understand what they're saying, but everyone hearing it's like, huh? Like what? I don't even know what to think of this. Or the advice is null and void because we don't know what the situation is that you're comparing it to. I just hate that. It happens all the time in all content, unfortunately.
Yes, women want to feel seen, but I do understand why you say seen and holding space isn't necessarily one for one. There is nuances there as well.
Agreed. Emotionally strong. And I'll actually change that to stoic.
To an extent, because sometimes you're too stoic. And I've said that to you where it's like, I don't feel like there's any feeling or emotion radiating off you. You just feel like you're a wall and you're just a robot and you just say the word.
That's so sexy. Keep talking. Like that. Tell me more. I feel seen.
Oh my God, you're so funny. But I don't like that. It feels like I'm talking to a shark, like you said. And so you want someone that's emotionally stoked. So for instance,
is the funny person in the room with us now? Oops. Oh, shit. Sorry. Gosh darn it.
It was, and you very quickly, by normal standards, moved on to yes, and now I actually want a thing.
Okay, wait. I'm moving
furious.
forward.
And immediately she goes, and she gets really annoyed, and her boyfriend, Aiden, just doesn't understand. Like, that of course you're going to be emotionally weak. Oh,
okay,
so
all right, I found it.
Oh
my God, you're so funny. Okay.
But I don't like that. It feels like I'm talking to a shark, like you said. And so you want someone that's emotionally stoked. So for instance, when I'm emotional, I want you to be able to hold space and be able to not then get emotional, because now if both of us are emotional, it won't. Like, I almost need that stability. But when you're too stoic and you don't show emotion, I don't feel seen. I don't feel like I can communicate with you. And so I'm always, trying to find those words to be like, I need you to show your feelings right now. I need you to express yourself, because I don't feel like we're communicating the way that makes me feel connected to you. And the way that makes me feel connected to you is to hear how you're feeling. Now, if you're a big ball of mess all the time and you weren't working to overcome it, because there are going to be moments that of course you're going to be emotionally weak, and if you just sat in that isn't attractive. Just licking your wounds over and over and over again. But I assume it's not attractive on the other side either. So as a woman, I don't want to do that. And as a man, I don't think that's healthy either. So you don't want someone just staying in their emotion without actually trying to navigate it. Again, not saying everyone's perfect. There's going to be a million reasons that you're going to have to stay there for a month, or you're working on it and you keep stumbling and you keep going backwards. Like, I have tremendous compassion and understanding for all of that. But are you doing something about it? So even with the emotionally stoic, there is that line. And then one more thing. There was an episode in Sex and the City that I feel so seen when I told you, that's how I feel. Sometimes when I feel hard done by, or I feel like unjust, or someone's trying to disrespect me, that's where I get triggered. Now, when you're sitting there going, it's fine, babe, it's fine. There's a part of me that's like, I want you, in all honesty, to fucking posture right now. And I want you to defend me, and I want you to have my back, and I want you to feel as I feel right now, unjust. I want you to feel freaking unjust. Now look, that won't serve us, especially when we run a business. But the truth is, in that moment, I feel like if you do that, I actually do feel seen now. Now we've had to navigate this, and there's a scene in Sex and the City where Carrie gets really annoyed about her neighbor. And she gets really annoyed, and her boyfriend, Aiden, just doesn't he doesn't understand. He doesn't see her. He doesn't get where she's coming from. And so over and over again, she's really upset, and he just not dismisses her, but doesn't match or at least show that he's seen her. Then eventually it gets to the point where shit hits the fan, and he comes in and he's fucking furious. And immediately she goes, yes! Thank you. And what does she do? She jumps in his arms and she kisses him. That's how a woman feels when you feel unjust, and
therefore, that's why we never kiss.
The guy matches you. Now, I've got two parts of me. The emotional side that I really want this, but the actually completely emotionally sober side of me knows it's not healthy. So going back to the emotional stoic thing that you said, is that I want you to be emotionally stoic. I want you to be able to be there for me when I don't have that emotional stoicness in myself. But if you go to robot mode, women won't appreciate it. They won't feel seen. And if you don't try and open yourself up to hearing her and hearing why she feels like that, she won't be able to feel connected to you. And so that's how I feel about emotionally stoicness.
So I'm going to add a splash of in-sync emotional instability. Does that sound about right?
Yes.
Nice. Okay. Yay, at least we know. Leadership.
Tom, This is too long. She already gave her answer. It was like confidence, authenticity, and whatever, strength. Okay, that's her answer.
For me, yes.
For women. It's never going to be 100%, but I'm talking averages.
So here's the truth.
How does she know?
I almost feel like I always have to caveat it because I'm saying it from...
If you think this is wrong, just say.
No, I actually think women do want leadership in a guy.
So what's the problem?
Because I don't want women to feel like they can't lead. But I think if people go to their truth, most women do.
Can I make a slight adjustment that
Please,
I think
yeah.
will nail it?
Yeah, please. You know me well enough.
Default leadership with enough self-awareness to know when his woman is the right person to lead, and he has no problem being like, yeah, this makes sense for you to lead in this
Boom.
moment.
Absolutely. I love it. That's 1,000% true. And there's one thing actually where I actually wrote this post and I was saying the things people must ask before they commit in a relationship. And the very first thing, number one, is...
First of all, these people should not be giving life advice, relationship advice. I'm not convinced that they're in a healthy relationship whatsoever. Whatever they want to do themselves, they can go do it. Who cares? But the fact that they think they're both qualified here to talk about universal relationship, questions is just completely inaccurate that they believe that.
Who leads, who follows. And as I wrote, I was like, oh my God, I'm going to get so much hate. People are really going to fucking hate that I said this. But it's true.
To you.
And once you realize that that's true, then you can decide, do you want to lead or do you follow? But here's the other caveat.
The caveat is, if you're a woman, you must follow. And men must lead. That's the only tiny little caveat there.
If you're female and you want to lead, again, I support that. But just know what that actually looks like.
Pain and
all
suffering.
the way to every little thing that you interact with them. So I interviewed this woman. I don't want to say her name because I don't want to blast her. But I interviewed this very powerful woman, super freaking strong, very successful, beautiful, in probably her mid-40s. Very career-oriented, was married, very abusive relationship. She left, she built her confidence, and now she's on her own. She's telling me about this boyfriend of hers, and he's like 10 years younger than her. And she's like, and I love it. I went up to him. I chatted him up in a bar. And I'm like, again, being for female empowerment, like, fuck yeah, if that's what you want, I love it. Like, good on you for having the confidence to go and do that. And so she's telling me the story about how she approaches him. She, chats him up. He moves in with her. She's the one that is the breadwinner. So she's saying this very empowering, love it, great. About 40 minutes into the interview, we're talking about something else. She's like, yeah, and I can't bloody believe he doesn't ever make an effort. He doesn't ever treat me to anything. He doesn't think about organizing our vacations. And so she's listing all these things that are absolutely leadership things to do. And so I was like, what?
Vacations. I'm a leader in vacations.
Well, I've got a question for you. Do you think that becomes the setup? You set the relationship up for having a dynamic where you lead. There's nothing wrong with that, but you then can't change the direction or that order without actually then discussing like, hey, I know that I was the one that came on to you. I know that I take over in this relationship as the leader, but actually right now I want you to. If you don't have that discussion, why would he take the lead? And so that's also the other thing that I just want to urge anyone listening is that once you decide, actually play that out of what it looks like. And then don't just then change your pitch. It's like people who say, I really want a guy that's very successful, right? Like they say again, I want someone like Tom. Okay, but are you okay with the lifestyle it brings you?
No.
Full circle. And most people aren't okay with the actual reality of what that brings. So when it comes to leadership,
the reality of you got to marry someone that looks and acts like Tom.
If you want to lead,
no one
and
wants
you're a
that.
female listening to this right now, I applaud you. But just make sure you have, you've taken the blinders off and know what that actually means all the way through to the end of the relationship to maybe hopefully you're with each other for the rest of your life.
What she said several times here, and I think it's just because they don't know anything. She's like, you can date someone that's not as good as you, but just know that what the consequences are. Okay, what are the consequences? I don't know what the consequences are, but you should know that there's like way at the end of the relationship. It's like, well, would there be an end of the relationship if you're going into it hoping that it's a marriage and whatever? Why would I know what's going to happen at the end? Like, no one knows, really. Everyone goes into a marriage, I would imagine, thinking it's going to work out, and half of them don't, okay? So, like, I think universally, if we're looking at statistics, no one's going, this man, I came up to him at the bar and we hit it off. There's no way that he's going to take me on a vacation in 20 years. Like, I don't know. None of this is, she's just saying like, you need to know what you're getting into. But then you ask, well, how do I know what I'm getting into? And there has not been an answer thus far. So she's like, just putting the advice back onto you, which is no advice at all. This is just dumb. I need more red pill content that I was promised in the title of this.
Your life. What does that look like on your deathbed? Play that out. Are you okay with that? Yes or no?
I think that is a damn fine list in the end, as we got some of the more nuanced stuff. Are there some paths for a woman that are better at yielding an outcome that will lead her to fulfillment than others?
It depends what you mean by fulfillment, like anything?
I'm trying to stick with your definition of fulfillment, which you used earlier, which is a little looser than mine. But a life that she will be proud of, that she'll feel good about herself when she's by herself, and will be in alignment with the evolutionary drivers in her
That was a Dave Hollis thought right there. Yikes.
brain.
Yeah. No.
There's no directional difference. All paths are equally valid.
What?
Yes. This is part of what I struggle with, because so many people, including women, think that there is a better path or we should do this. And it's changing, right? We got together 23 years ago. We've been married for 21, and we've seen the way the world is changing. We've seen the way that dating is changing and what people are saying about online dating. And, I can sit there with a group of guys in this company who I really respect and really adore. And there's a couple of guys that I would even say, like, I really, truly love in this company. And I sit with them and they talk to me about the problems in the dating world and what women are doing wrong. And they say to me, women, Lisa, you don't understand. We go on dates and it feels like they're just using me for my money. And so now I'm less reluctant to pay for dinner because it just feels like they're just trying to get a free meal. And these are guys that I know, so I know that they're not trying to scam the system. I know that they're very authentic in saying that. And then I have a group of my homies, my females, who are like, Lisa, there's no good guys out there. I go on a date and he looks at me to pay. Or, I go on a date and he doesn't even want to pick me up. He wants to meet me there. And there's all these things that then I also hear women are complaining about. And there's no right or wrong. It's just, these are truths. And knowing these are truths, if I've got the two people saying the same thing, I'm like, you guys should need to date because you're both complaining about the same thing. The problem is people are just staying in the complaint and not actually doing anything about it or shifting the way that they think and that they show up in order to do something differently. So a woman, for instance, one of my good friends, we had this whole discussion and she said, Lisa, I was going out on this date with a guy, and just like you, because I am still old school, I believe in chivalry. So she was like, I believe in chivalry too. And so we go on a date and the bill comes and he just looks at me. And she was just honest. She's like, I'm a woman who likes to be, treated well on the first date, and I expect you to pay. And his response was like, oh my God, thank God. He was like, I just went on a date last week and I went to pay and the woman almost bit my head off that I was going to pay because she was saying, I can pay for myself. So I do understand the problems guys are having where they're getting confused on the messaging that women are giving. But also the women are also getting those mixed messages where they're like, men are saying that women don't want chivalry. Here I am looking for chivalry and they don't give it to me. So it's like people are speaking different languages instead of kind of coming together or just saying, what is it the thing that I want? What is it that you want? How can we...
I think it's the answer here is that everyone's different. Despite this conversation trying to force a universal answer of how to appeal to all women, how to appeal to all men, that everybody's different. Everyone's going to have their own taste and you got to find the one you match with. That's the whole point. It's not winning. It's not winning the date. You're supposed to be finding a match for the date. So that's what I think the difference is. It's like they're trying to make it a competition, like, oh, I'm going to, win everyone that I go out with. They're all going to want to be with me. I've heard that from my own friends. Like, oh yeah, everyone I go out with, I want them to want me, and then I get to choose, and that's the winning. It's like, well, if you don't like them, then it's not a match. But it's a sensitive topic because it's like a lot of self-worth is involved in dating, I think, especially now, because it's like you're going on a lot of dates on, dating apps or whatever. And so it's like a numbers game in some ways. If like 10 out of 15 like you, it's like, oh, I must be a good, hot looking person. And if, you're not getting that many that want to date you back, it's like, oh, something must be wrong with me. I don't know. I guess that's I'm trying to find some sort of like meaning in this conversation, which I feel like is like dragged on and on and on. JLB Nerdy. Thank you so much, JLB Nerdy. How are you? How is it going? JLB Nerdy says, Tom has RBF. Resting beta face. That's what you meant, right?
If I were to die, it would probably be choking on broccoli. My father and I get sewn together.
That's something Tom would say. Also,
We have critters.
And also,
I done seen people pull a worm out their butt and the worm will break off and the other half of the worm will suck back in their booty hole.
if you say that on a date, you're guaranteed to be called the next day. All right. I don't know how much more I can take of this.
We start to talk in a healthy manner in order to get to the goal that we're both looking for, which apparently is, from what I hear, right, they want healthy, loving relationships. So in my opinion, how do we solve this problem instead of how do we come at each other with this problem?
Okay, so you said that all paths are equally valid. I would like to see if I can get you to reconsider that stance.
Because you don't believe it.
I don't believe it, but you walk me through. Maybe I'm crazy. But let me paint a path that is some small percentage, but it's the path that everyone points at when they want to have the argument about the derangement of culture. And in fact, I'm going to plant an idea I want you to start thinking about as I think through this. Something is deranging culture. If you agree with me on that, I want to know what the essence of it is. But here is a path that I think is very, in terms of the symptoms, shows a lot of the symptoms of a culture that is deranged. So you get male style sex in their 20s.
Male style?
Yeah. One night stands, don't get in your feels. I'm just here to Tinder and then I'm out and I've got a high body count and I've had a lot of fun and what's it to you? And then you get OnlyFans models. So they are recognizing that the male gaze is monetizable and that men are feeling lonely. Men want special access to females in a sexual context, that they can sell that. There was a woman that made like 10,000 pounds. I can't remember her name, but selling her bath water, and some of her stands, I don't know what else to call them, drank the bath water when they got, just like crazy stuff. So you also have the sugar baby phenomenon. So you probably won't know who these are, but there's a show called Fresh and Fit. I think it was Sneeko, Drew, can you back me up on this, that got a sex worker pregnant. There's a lot of controversy around whether she was actually an OnlyFans model or a prostitute and whether he knew and all this. But anyway, he met her on a sugar baby site. So it's women that are looking to be quid pro quo. Maybe you pay a little bit of my rent. Maybe you pay my car insurance. Maybe you buy me a car, whatever. They come up with different arrangements. All of that being not only a thing, because of course there have always been relationships like this, but that OnlyFans is celebrated. Like, oh, you have an OnlyFans account. You're making how much money? Like, wow, that's amazing. And certainly
get to the question.
You'll get, again, small subset. I am certainly not saying that this is common, but it's common enough that it's really the lightning rod for the culture war around this. It is so prominent. Strikes me as like every alarm bell people have should be going off. And when I see symptoms, I want to know what's the underlying cause. But first, I just want to say, now having thought that's a path. Hey, ladies, here's what you should do. Have sex like a man because it's super fun. Get yours. No reason to be in your feels. By the way, men are so easy to manipulate. You can hire a team of guys to write back and forth with the guys as if they're you. You can make, some of these people make millions of dollars a year. Some of them, at least in the beginning, make millions of dollars a month. It's like there's real money to be had. Of course, the vast majority of them make virtually nothing, and they put nudes of themselves out there for all repercussion and no advantage. But still, that strikes me as a terrible path that I just don't think you thought about and would, of course, warn people away. But if you would say, no, like that's
OnlyFans
amazing.
specifically?
Yeah, the male style sex, and somehow...
I like how he calls it male style sex, which is a very weird thing to say, first of all. When he means casual sex, okay, like... male style. Like there's lots of men that do not want to have casual sex. There's many that want to just get married quickly. I've met them. Okay, I promise. I don't know the whole population, but again, like everyone's got different things. So, okay, so forget about that statistically and all of that. So now he's saying men are allowed to sleep around because that's cool. That's just normal. But for women to do it, they've been misled. And now having OnlyFans is a bad idea. Okay, what does this have to do with anything? That's what I'm trying to understand. What does this have to do with anything that we've been talking about, which is how to attract a boyfriend, I think is what we're talking about. I know we're going to wrap it quickly, but this is kind of an interesting question, and it was a very convoluted question. So I don't know. He's basically saying, you're stupid, Lisa, my wife, because you forgot to say that having an OnlyFans is bad. It's like, when would that have come up? But okay, let's see what she has to say. I don't know what the hell you're talking about here.
Monetize the sexual desperation of males, whether as a sugar baby or OnlyFans model.
Okay, so two things there. When there's a demand, there's going to be the supply. So OnlyFans wouldn't exist if guys weren't going on there and paying for it. So it's like, what came first, the chicken or the egg?
Which is the chicken and egg here?
Well, that's the point. Like,
male desire came first.
Right, so male desire came first. They weren't getting fulfilled. So OnlyFans spun up. Women were just like, oh, is this an opportunity for me to make money? I don't...
Yeah, OnlyFans is the first time women have ever monetized their sexuality, for sure. Before the internet, there was nothing that you could do to show your body and make money. Okay. It's like there's a whole industry. Okay, there's multiple industries, some legal, some not, that is catering to this from the beginning of time. So why are we acting like OnlyFans is some sort of special thing?
I literally don't have any judgment on them. I'm like, because there's the demand, someone came up with the supply. So you can't really blame the women for going on OnlyFans when guys are willing to pay for it. So that's number one. Number two, in regards to the have as much sex as you want, I do agree, have as much sex as you want. But you can't fight biology. And biology says that women secrete oxytocin. And so when you sleep with a guy or a woman, you secrete oxytocin. So over time, the majority of women don't just keep sleeping around for the rest of their lives. So I go, okay, I understand biology. We actually strive for connection. If you're looking for connection, don't go and have one-night stands. If you go and have a one-night stand, know the dangers, right? There's STDs out there. There's dangers. As a woman, you think about the threat if you go to a guy's apartment. Like, all of that is real. So I don't blanketly say, going, you go and have as much sex as you like, fuck the guys. It's like, no, actually look at what are all the possibilities and dangers that come with this.
Thanks, Mom.
And I freaking hate that you guys say about body count. Hate. I should be able to give my body away, or not give it away, but I should be able to share with whoever I freaking like.
Hell yeah.
Now, even though I feel like that, and no one can dictate or should dictate how many more guys that I've slept with, I just go, is it fact? Actually, do you really care about how many people I've slept with? Do most guys care about how many guys I've slept with? If
Tom
the
does,
answer is yes,
specifically.
while I don't think it's fair doesn't really play into it. And so I just go, if I sleep with 100 guys, that's on me. If that makes me happy, fuck yes. Like, I'm not here to shame any woman. But there's always a but.
Here's a
but
shame.
know that if you sleep with 100 guys, is that going to narrow your pool of guys? Maybe. And if the yes. If the answer is yes, how do you feel about that?
I love it.
Do you may want to try and change it, but I don't know if you can change it. So now it's in your control. And so again, going back to she shouldn't have big body count. Why? Why is that so important to you? Is it an ego thing? Are you worried that they've seen so many penises that they're going to judge yours and think it's small? Why are you actually worried about the fact that they've got so many? Are you afraid that you can't live up to being in bed with her and she's experienced amazing things? Instead of feeling insecure about it, again, I say this with compassion, but instead of being insecure about it, get good. Get freaking amazing at making a woman orgasm. So now, if she's been with 100 guys, what if you're the best she's ever been with? Shit, that's a big, wow, shit, she's been with 100 people and I'm the fucking best? Yeah, buddy. Like that, when I met you, you were like, I watch Sex and the City and I read, because we didn't have the internet at the time. So you were like, I watch Sex and the City and I read Cosmo. And you're like, I know how to work that clit. And so I was like, fucking respect. Like you did the homework.
Yeah, watching Sex and the City and reading Cosmo. Yeah, that's the way to do it. That is where it's located. She's outing him so bad. She doesn't even realize. Oh, you know, you ever read Archie comics? That's where I learned. Okay, great. Oh boy. All right, I need to hear him respond and then we'll end it. Part-time jujitsu. Thank you so much. Part-time jujitsu. Welcome. Part-time jujitsu says they Google controversial topics that will get views, then share basic superficial points of view on very nuanced social issues. Yeah, this seems like a conversation that could have been had in 1999. Like there's really, it's like, oh, women be shopping, men be sleeping around. That's science and biology. You can't fight it, so you might as well lower your income standards as a woman because otherwise you'll be a cat lady. Like that's been going on forever. That's been, talked about incessantly for decades and it's boring at this point, but they're just doing it in a layer in a podcast studio within their home. That's the only difference here. And they're married, but it's very bizarre. So I agree. I think nothing is new here. This is like a tale as old as time. It's very sexist. It's just not even sexist in a negative way. It's just a very narrow-minded way to think. It only applies to heterosexual couples because if you add in another person, so if you're not totally monogamous, if you have an open relationship, this does not no longer count. If you're gay or in some sort of other relationship, doesn't count anymore because all these dynamics no longer are applicable. So all of this is just to, two people talking about their relationship and saying, this is the standard of our world, which is obviously not true. So yeah, the title gave it much more, and I don't know what they could possibly talk about for another 2 hours. We're not going to find out, but nothing has been revolutionary whatsoever. It's actually been pretty dull for the most part and not shocking because we know he's like red-pilled. So I just want her to get out. That's what I'm waiting for, is her to her to take the red pill of leaving this relationship and getting into the world of the unmatrix world of dating. Honestly. Okay. But thank you, part-time jujitsu. And for that I say,
I just know that worms are going to come out of me.
Gross. And also,
I speak Spanish pretty well. Pinchos.
That's one of my favorite ones. Okay, we're almost done.
You didn't just sit back and go, yeah, I'm the best. You actually put work in to make sure that you were going to be amazing. And so you can feel defenseless. You can feel like the victim, which again, I don't want people to feel. I feel really badly that guys are feeling like that. And I feel really badly that women are now have to think twice about if I want to just have a one-night stand because I just want to have fun. I feel bad that women have to second guess themselves of whether that's going to have repercussions down the road. But those are all truths. And now, again, what are you going to do about it? Take action. I'm so action-oriented that if I don't like something about myself, take action and change it. If I don't have confidence and I've got insecurities, take action and change it. What are you going to do about it?
Read Cosmo.
And I don't feel powerful personally, I don't feel powerful if I get in the submissive situation or in the victim mentality. I feel powerful taking action. So if I say I don't like something about myself, in then trying to pivot and get to my goal and change and build that skill set and get better, now I feel powerful, even if I'm not there yet. But I understand that it actually makes you feel powerless.
Like he's in the robot mode right now.
In that moment where you can't do anything about it. So I just urge people to flip the way they think, take action, so that they're not sitting there worried, how many women have they slept with? How many men have they slept with? If you don't like that there are OnlyFans out there because people are charging, then don't use it. If you feel like you want connection and you don't know how to get it,
take action.
I understand. I have compassion. Try to figure it out. Go on the journey of figuring out how you can be with a woman or be with somebody that is worthy of you. Become the person that you're worthy of being with. Like we all say, I want this person, but are you the person that is worthy of getting that person? And so the more you lean into OnlyFans, the more now you're not taking action on building your self-esteem and building your confidence in the areas that you actually feel inadequate.
Well, the beef with OnlyFans is more that women are doing it and they think it's okay because they're not actually having sex.
It is okay. Thank you.
What is wrong with me taking a photo and saying, does anyone want to pay for this?
Hell yeah.
Anyone?
It's called capitalism, Tom. You made a protein bar that sucks and tastes like dust and said, hey, you want to eat it? Same thing, buddy. I don't see the difference.
Why is that wrong?
Would you think it
Tom.
a bad look on me if I was like, I don't want you to post nudes on OnlyFans?
I would ask you why. I wouldn't say it was a bad look, but I would dig deeper. I would say, okay, why?
Would you be surprised?
Why? Let me ask you.
Why?
I will certainly answer, but first, would you expect me to be like, oh yeah, I don't mind?
No, I think you would have a problem with it.
Why do you think I would have a problem with it?
Because
you're a misogynistic dude. I mean, I don't think I would want any man or woman, like if you're married, I think that would be someone who's much more open to that than like the average person. I think if you're a regular, single woman or dating or whatever, and you're wanting to do an OnlyFans, I think most people on both sides would not want there. But there's some cases like the Caitlyn from Teen Mom. She Teen Mom 2 or Teen Mom? I don't know. But her husband does OnlyFans and she seems fine with it. So it's not like every single person, that's married does not allow it. Certain people do, certain people don't. Again, this is like, he's trying to put moral values onto it and say, well, women shouldn't be doing this and that. It's like, says you. This is your opinion and your opinion's fine, but it's like not everyone's opinion. And again, there's no right or wrong answer. So yeah, no, we are not going to be surprised when you say that you don't want your wife to be on OnlyFans. It's not shocking. Part-time Jiu-Jitsu, thank you again so much. Part-time Jiu-Jitsu says, maybe they're prisoners of an evil podcast wizard. Yeah, they must be like, I don't know. This set always freaked me out. It's like he's trying to be Batman or something, but it's just so impersonal and just reeks of like unrelatable Richies up there giving life advice. It's just always been so weird to me. But for that I say,
their building's bigger than yours and their furniture's nicer than yours.
Which is true, and I take the L on that one. Okay, let me just finish this thought about OnlyFans.
I am showing my body to other people. And I think you specifically, my husband, Tom Bilyeu, right? Yeah. Okay. I think you feel like that's yours to see and protect. You're not a jealous person, so that's why I don't go to, oh, you're jealous that other guys are going to drool over my photo. So it's the only thing that I can go to.
Yeah, I think that it's a very deep and complicated thing. There is a sense of that's mine. Now I'm speaking now abstractly, because that would be less troublesome for me, but I think that will be a big thing for a lot of guys. Some of the complexity around that specifically is that's very exploitable. And I would not want that. There is something, even if someone were generating AI imagery of your body, I would not like that for that same reason. That's super intimate, and sharing that I think is really high risk. All right, so, but setting aside my answer, because I want to keep mapping out how you think about this. So
Why?
As I try to predict what you're about to say, I find that my prediction engine on this topic is completely broken. And so as I ask myself,
she's so excited.
Okay,
Finally.
what?
You're not gonna
I'm
interrupt
obviously
me.
unmoored from the way that you think about this.
Did you think I would be against OnlyFans?
Yes, and I think by the end of this conversation, I will maybe be able to. Yeah, I'm not setting out to convince you right now, but I think just in nailing down some of the things I'm about to ask you, you might go, okay, yeah, I really hadn't thought about some of the knock-on effects yet, but maybe.
My wife doesn't think yet before I tell her how to do it. That's what he's saying here, as you said several times already. Philly turned Texan. Thank you so much, Philly turned Texan. This was foreplay for Tom earlier. The condescension made him happy. He's getting cranky now because she's pushing back. Yeah, he couldn't predict what exactly she was going to say and didn't have the opportunity to interrupt her to tell her what she was going to think and say. So he's pissed. He's mad. He's mad. And that's horrible.
Her charisma is straight up off the charts.
True. And also,
No big deal.
this is no big deal. All right. He's going to convince her now of why OnlyFans is horrible for all women, especially if they're making money, because then they will have no man because men must make the most money. Okay. That's the summary of this whole podcast thus far.
Maybe I will find that the opposite is true. What is your North Star as you think about advising women on? Because remember, I'm still anchored around. A woman comes to you for advice. There are a lot of paths that she can pursue.
Why would she be coming to her
I
for
have
advice?
a feeling that what we're going through right now in culture is people realizing we tried one path and that has not yielded the outcomes that we wanted. And so I think culture is, while somewhat blindly, is going to be searching for a new path to point men and women down, because the current path has completely deranged culture, I believe. So
Grandpa.
for me to update my prediction.
This Elvis music is really making us shake our hips. I cannot stand for it. It's deranged. Okay, Tom, relax, Grampy.
I need to know what your North Star is.
In life or
when giving somebody advice on what path to go down in life, your North Star is?
I
Do what you
would
want,
say,
girlfriend.
What do you want, like when you're 80 years old, what do you want your life to look like? And that then
The Villages.
predicts and gives you the blueprint of what you now need to do. So when I'm 80,
And there's no bad vision to have when you're 80.
bad vision.
So, hey, Lisa, yeah, I've thought about when I'm 80 and I want to be in ill health. I want to be effectively dying of syphilis. I want to make sure that I'm completely alone, that even my cats won't be near me. I want to be on the dole from the government and just being taken care of.
Jesus!
I want to die a nice, slow, painful death. You'd be like, okay, word, let's talk about how you get there.
No.
Okay, homie.
No, I would say you're delusional to think that that's going to bring you happiness and fulfillment again.
Okay, so is happiness and fulfillment the North Star?
Yes, but happiness again it's not concrete. It will ebb and flow. And so are you living every day in building those moments of your happiness? So for me, it is, I feel very good about myself when I built my confidence. So I can tackle anything that I'm terrible at, insecure over, because if I do it enough, I know that I will get good enough to be confident. And so the path of growing my skill sets in order to build my confidence is actually very fulfilling for me.
So our growth and confidence steps on the way to the North Star of fulfillment?
Yes, that's a great way of putting it.
Okay, so fulfillment is your North Star.
Yes.
So you're 80, and dear person who's asking me what path I should walk in life, all I know is we want to be 80 as a proxy for old, and saying, I did hard things, I pushed through, there were ups, there were downs, but through it all, I lived in a way that fulfilled me.
Correct.
Okay, now I need a definition for fulfillment. What is the recipe? In fact, not a definition, a recipe. What are the things in the
OnlyFans
abstract
plus
that one can do that will
100 mil
as close
plus
to
Bentley
assuredly
equals
as possible lead
fulfillment.
to fulfillment?
I work hard to build skill sets that allow me.
All right, I don't care anymore. When they start saying, I build skill sets that allow me to earn the courage to leave the harbor and therefore also have self-confidence and my abilities to react and also not react to the outer purpose of my inner world. Oh my God, shut up, shut up. I can't take it anymore.
No.
Shut up. There's like certain cadence that people get into when they're trying to figure out what they're going to say. They have nothing actually to say. Everyone does it. I do it too. But it's like you start to give yourself a little bit of time to come up with something. And most likely it's going to be nothing of actual value. Boy, well, they have not been doing well. They have not been doing well. I guess Tom has done better than she has, because Tom gets to be insane and do whatever he wants, and Lisa has to figure out how to interact with him while he's being insane, and that must suck. And I hope one day she opens her eyes and sees that the guy in front of her is a douchebag. Yikes. Okay, but before we wrap, I wanted to play a rap. No, this is something that I love. Light language. Light language is my favorite modality, okay, of self-help. And it's not even self-help, it's more wellness, spirituality. But this person, it's been a while since I found a new light language. Because for the most part, it's like fake, what's the word? Like a native, a take on a ancient native language is how it sounds. And it, that's where it usually goes. It's like, like almost like in tongues. I'll play it. Actually, the one that I always play. So that's usually, and then there was the one time we watched the light language where it was dolphin speak, and it was like, and she was doing dolphin light language. This is a new one, okay? This is a new one from our friend Guayarach, perhaps? It says, one of my favorite medicines is the sounds that come through my little fairies. I call them the toys, and they call themselves my fairy daughters. In this video, and she spelled fairies like they do on Neopets, so she's okay in my book because she spelled it different than we do here in America. In this video, we also have the Dudas present. What are the Dudas, you may ask? I don't know. I actually don't know. It's some sort of non-real thing. The Dudas are present, and their frequency is like food for the cells in our body. Rest, restore, awaken, and live more is their mottos. They come through the higher heart in me, so they work like little active and loving helpers in the deep layers of my soul, eager and willing to share their medicine with the ones who want to invite more of nature's magic into their lives. Okay, so everyone take one collective breath. We're about to heal ourselves. We're about to let in the toys, the fairies, the Dudas into our ether, our fascia, into our soul. Okay, so everyone get ready. And we will receive. Okay, here we go.
That was a little gift from the fairies. And me.
Good work. Good work. She should join the cult where they had the embalmed zombie woman. Love Has Won cult, because she sounds like what's his name? The character Morty. Is it Morty from like the 70s? That show Mink and Morty. Is that right? Mint and Morty. Robin Williams character on that show. Very alien-esque. I like it. So that's Guaya Roch. And she's a creator of Galactic Talismans, and she's translating the inner worlds into living art. Okay. And this is her art. It's actually pretty cool. I like it. It seems like it's, stuff that I have seen in Mexico, esque. So it seems like she's got some inspo from other cultures, but okay, we'll let it slide this time. I have not watched this video, but this is her website. Welcome to her world. I made it all the way here. Okay. So she's going to talk to us about her, offerings, I'm assuming. But look at this. There's a bird. What a cool website. So here we go. We can get to know her more. I think this is in English and not fairy language, but we'll find out very shortly.
So what happens when a truth will arise in us? How does this occur?
Oh, hold on.
Let me give you an example. Imagine yourself, you're out walking in the forest. It's a nice sunny day and the air is fresh and crisp. So nice. And you walk for some time and then you come to this tree and you feel like, I'm going to sit down by this tree and I'm just going to enjoy even more than what I'm already doing. So you sit down and you lean back towards the tree and you start breathing consciously. Breathing and exhaling. Attune yourself to the rhythm of your breath, and then after some time you suddenly just feel this incredible connection to the tree. It is speaking to you. It is becoming a part of you. It's almost like you can feel yourself merging with the tree. And as you just attentively notice the sensations in your body and you keep breathing, this truth is arising in you that you knew from before. You've thought about it.
Meditation woman.
Not felt it inside of you in the way that you are now experiencing the connection between you and this tree.
Every YouTube thumbnail.
So each inhale is you inhaling life that is given to you from this tree, and as you exhale, and so that deeply meaningful symbiotic relationship between you and this tree is becoming a reality inside of you, and it is speaking to you through your feelings. And these feelings are of a very vivid nature because they will tell you a story.
She's got very beautiful eyes. They're almost like purple. So there you go. That's her way of teaching. It's a method, I guess. I don't know. She's got music. She's got a blog. She's got members. She's got an inner garden adventure. She's got galactic talismans. Let's see her in offerings. She's got ceremonies one-on-one, medicine retreats. She's got the initiation. Okay, so you always know that that's going to be not a cult for sure. And then you got the inner garden adventure, which is join me on a transformational journey into the mysteries of nature and the inner worlds. Okay, let's look at the initiation. It's a 6-month mentorship and medicine retreat. How much? Let's see. How much do we think? Excuse me. Who is this for? I just want to know how much it is. There's so much information. Scroll. The plants that we would be consuming. Where's the dollars? Cost? No. What do they call it? Investment. Can I spell? Invest. No. I guess you just have to guess. Anyways, that's her. And then the Inner Garden Adventure. Oh, for premium members. She's got a cool website though. How is she doing this? Like a jellyfish mushroom. That's pretty interesting. I appreciate her computer design work. What else she's got? Anything good? You got anything else?
The one who seeks to know themselves.
She's got good hair too, good colors. She's a magician.
So right now I am on my way up to visit the Cave of the Apocalypse here in Patmos, Greece.
I want to go to the Cave of the Apocalypse. No, I don't. All right, there you go. There's a monkey or a bat.
I got a wild little monkey in bed with me this morning.
A monkey.
Woo! He's so playful this morning. Yeah.
On her bed. Oh, that's so cute.
What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do, sweetie? What are you gonna do?
I wish Tara would jump on my head. That's so sweet. I wanted little Tara on my head. Oh boy. Anyways, hello. Goodbye. We started off the show one way and we're ending it the same way. Excuse me. I'm going to try to make Thursdays now that my schedule, I say this every time at the end and it's always a lie, but I'm going to lie to you one more time. Now that my schedule has calmed down a little bit, I think I'm going to try to return on Thursdays. Thursday seems to be a great day for me because Fridays, I don't have to wake up as early anymore. I did for a period of time and now I no longer have to. So I can sleep in a little bit on Friday so I can stay up later, even though it's like 8 o'clock here right now. So I guess I could have stayed up late. Sometimes I'm up, like I stream till 1 a.m, weirdly, because I talk for 7 hours about, Heidi Powell or something. So I'm going to try to come live Thursdays, just for fun, just laid back, just chill times. Okay. And then I'm also still working. I swear to Gaia that I'm working on edited content because I miss doing edited content. And I feel like you can really understand the bigger issues sometimes at hand with the edited content. And also the podcast where I read self-help books is forthcoming. And I'm thinking about maybe releasing the first episode to members only, just to get feedback. And if you want, there's like no pressure. I'm not trying to force you into, being like QA people, like quality assurance people. But if you wanted to listen to it early, I might upload it as a special treat for everybody. And also if you have feedback, to get the feedback, because I'm trying to find the right pacing and cadence, because I haven't done podcasts by myself ever. So it's a little different for me. Anyways, that's what's going on in my life. Thank you for being here. I'm going to sing my song and we'll catch up later. Okay? Goodbye. Goodbye for now until we meet again. Until we meet again in 1 second. This ain't gonna work. This ain't gonna work. This could work. Yeah.
Everywhere I go, the people really wanna know who I is and who I be. They fumble a bag, now I will not fumble.
Okay. I'm just gonna find a song that doesn't have words in it, for gosh darn sake. Okay, maybe. Let's see. Let's turn it down a tiny bit. I'm getting light language into my bones. Okay. Starry nights in the sky. You are so red-pilled guy. Nicole Campbell. You think that OnlyFans is really cool. That makes you a bad person. A Conzo. Do you have braids on the side of your head? Lisa B. Did you know that you can connect with trees? Alaska Blood Tundra. Did you have a crypto company that didn't plunder? Or flumber. That's not a word. I meant to say fumble. Oopsie daisy. And you'll forgive me, right? Can I stay the night? Even though I wear a giant watch that tells the time. All the time. Tells Marie. Did you know it's 3 o'clock somewhere? Probably. Brandy Cannon. Don't be yammering on and on and on about relationships for 3 hours because it will not last. I cannot hear anymore. I will put a blast in my path because I can't listen anymore to them. Yeah. Crystal G. How many crystals do you see? Amethyst. Diamonds. Quartz. That's like a song from Nicole Richie these days, I hear. I gotta listen to it. I haven't listened to it in full, only on TikTok. Joms. Joms. Joms don't give a dom. Speaking of doms, they can have OnlyFans. Care Soda, what do you think about all of that? What's your North Star? Not Jenna Cash. Do you go to the bar and try to pick up guys? That's a bad thing, they would say, in Tom's eyes. One more time. El Cholo's kid. You are not mid. You are so cool. You really rule. Heather Hope. Will you elope with the guy you met on Tinder? Because that's the way that society and culture has been denigrated according to Tom Bilyeu. Heather DeMaio, how about you? What do you think? What do you think? What do you drink? What do you sink into? SS. The essence of you is so beautiful. Lillian Massey. Don't you smoke no tobacco? Because it's not good for you. Even though that's a new trend I've noticed on Instagram. They like to say that smoking's not that bad for you. Isn't that weird? We'll talk about it next time, Danny. We'll talk about the sunscreen stuff too. People are convinced that wearing sunscreen is bad for you. How weird. Cheech. You need to teach these people that they are crazy. I shared something about it on my Instagram and somebody reported me because I shared their story because it was so ridiculous. Can you believe that? I guess I need to make it clearer that I'm just sharing because I think it's stupid. Not that I agree with the information. Don't you agree, Mary? Au contrary. In of you not to agree with me. Everything that I say. Casual pasta every day. Fettuccine. Linguine. the box and I will giddy. Happy because I ate some pasta and Philly turned Texan. Let's go put it in. I don't know it rhymes with pasta other than Rasta. Okay. One more time. Philly turned Texan. You be hexing people on the internet because you're a witch or a warlock or a stupid bitch. I'm just kidding, you're not. Thank you so much for your support. Jorben, you too. Jorben just be absorbing all the fun information. Not complaining. Just enjoying the sensation. Rebecca J. Kelly, author. I wonder if Rebecca J. Kelly's an author. Well, have you looked at the end of her name with the dash? Because that would confirm your beliefs that she in fact is an author and writes books, I think. Or I guess she could have a third last name. Name Arthur. And it's kind of funny that Arthur from PBS was a show about loving books and itself was a book in fact before it became a TV show. But you already knew that though. My favorite Arthur song is the one about the library card. 'Cause having fun isn't hard when you have a library card. Isn't that true? It is, in fact. The other one that I like is the one about the city. What's it called? Gem City? Crown City. It's like a diamond from the sea. That's the song that Arthur taught me. Now the fun fact about Arthur, I wanted to be on Buster's thing at the end when they had kids send in documentaries about themselves and stuff that they did. I also was obsessed with Zoom. And I learned the Boston zip code from Zoom. 02134, send it to Zoom. Send who? www.pbs.org. Email. Okay, I've gone off the rails. Good night, everybody. If you relate, drop a like in the chat, and I'll see you next time. Bye.